It's time for the show that brings the magic right to your speakers. Ears Up!
All right, everyone, here we are once again, show 51. 51 of the Ears Up podcast.
This is like a nothing show compared to the 50th, you know?
Yeah, now we just, it's like
oh.
it's like turning 25. You're like,
Yeah.
Or 22, rather.
Yeah.
That goal when you're 10, I gotta get to 21 for whatever reason.
Well, no, at 20,
And then,
at 25, you can, like, rent a car.
That's the only thing.
and your insurance goes down. But, like, that's not a milestone for any, rational human being, right?
And a 25-year-old
Yeah.
doesn't care that their insurance went down. They're like, oh, so
Yeah.
I have an extra $1.
I'll take it.
Yeah, I'll take that $1.
Yeah, but you're not 25.
But you know what I mean? Like, you turn...
Ouch.
You turn 21 and you're like, oh, yeah, I can party and whatever, and you have a whole year being 21, and you turn 22 and you're like, now everything's just a number. Doesn't matter. That's like show 51. This is our 22nd year, essentially.
So
We're like
Yes.
dog years,
Yes.
but different.
So what do we have to look forward to?
Our 100th show.
Oh, okay. All right, guys, taking it easy for the next few shows, all right?
Well, because the next milestone's like, there's another milestone when you turn 40.
Yeah, that's
And
our 100th
30,
show.
I guess,
and,
too, yeah.
Wrinkles.
Wrinkles.
Yeah, you got that to look forward to.
50, and then 70,
You're going to go through all the numbers?
then 90.
71 or
No, I
72.
skipped 80.
Yeah. Then you die, and someone finds you face down in your cereal. And anyway, thanks, Taren. Thanks for taking us down that. Appreciate it. Thank you
Yeah.
very much. All
We
right.
need to have sad
I'm pretty
ears.
sure I didn't do that.
We really need to have some sad ears. Wah-ba-da-ba-ba.
Melancholy. Whatever. Oh, you did that.
I did not do that.
You did that.
That was you.
Yeah, but you know me.
Well,
You know.
You guys, regardless, it happened. Let's move past it.
thanks, Bev.
The voice of reason. Gee, who's the parent in the room? Don't worry about it. It's fine. You can't fix it. Thanks for joining us. Here we are. Find us iTunes, TuneIn, Radio, Stitcher, whatever you want. Wherever you want to listen to us. Download it to your phone. I don't care. Do whatever you want.
Are we
I
sure?
don't
Are you
even
sure we're
care.
not 70? Do whatever you young kids want to do.
I don't,
Get out my lawn.
yeah. Just stay off my lawn. Keep the noise down, and it's fine.
Turn off all that rock and roll music.
I don't care what you
And
do.
turn the light out when you leave a room.
Yeah. Yes.
Don't wait till you're 70. Don't be running up my light bill.
So I come home the other night from doing the show, and
I feel like I'm about to get in trouble.
of course you are. Well, because I live with you.
Did a cat leave the lights on? Like what?
No, the lights
Yes.
turn themselves off. So I pull up, and I can see there are two lights. So we have two main lights in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have the lights over the stove, and then we have a light over the sink
Right.
for some reason. So because you need to see, I guess, more
Right.
than whatever. So I come home, and the light over the stove is on, the light over the kitchen or the sink is on, and I go into the living room, and the TV's on, the light's on in the living room behind the TV. Don't ask. And then we have a light. In the main living room light, that's on, and Taren's on the couch, and I go, "Are you done with the lights in the kitchen?" She goes, "Oh no, what was it? Oh, the door was closed." And I go, "Why don't you have the air conditioning on? It's hot right now. It's still hot in California." She goes, "Oh, I'm trying to save power." And I go, "Are you done then with the lights in the kitchen, or can I turn those off for you?" And she goes, "Yeah." Okay. I'm gonna put my head through a wall.
Glad you got that off your chest, newlywed.
Yeah, do you feel
Over.
better?
I do
It always-
because it's like
And you're also remembering it wrong. I never said that I was going to save power. I was doing it to save power. Because I don't really care.
oh my God, you said it. That's yes.
No, I didn't. I said that I said I didn't have it on because I wasn't hot.
No, you did
Yeah,
not.
I did.
Taren. Taren. No, you
And I
didn't.
didn't have the door open because I was scared of strangers.
You did say that. But you said specifically that you were...
I was probably
Here,
just lying
take
because
this back.
stop it.
I was probably just lying. Either way, you said it.
I don't think I did, but fine.
Well,
whatever.
but I thought you were just lying.
I had all the other lights
Busted.
off. At least you weren't there when I had the hall light on for like an hour. And I was like,
Right.
I looked over and I was like, oh, shoot.
Great. Kids, let's be a lesson to you. Just turn the lights off. You may not understand why your parents want to, because it's like an extra $2 a month. But, it's just the principle. We're trying to teach you things. I want my $2. It's a lot of soup. Find us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Send feedback to Taren at EarzUp-podcast. Compliments, go to Terrence. You can say hi to Bev at EarzUp-podcast.com. And anything else comes to me at Jason at EarzUp-podcast.com, or go to the website if you can't remember these simple and easy to use email addresses. And we have a little contact form, and everything's great. Don't forget to check out the blog for more cool Disneyland info, like our animated classics review. Hopefully, by the time this show posts, I will have my Fantasia one up, and then hopefully another one, and we'll kind of get this train rolling.
Yeah. But at least you didn't promise it this time. You said hopefully.
I was a big fat liar on show
He
49.
doesn't want to use
Yeah.
his computer during peak hours.
That's right. I sit in a dark room and just stare into the darkness.
I understand you. I'm an equally.
Thank you. You can support Ears Up in a few ways now that Christmas season is starting to get underway. Check out the Amazon link on our homepage. You just go to earsup-podcast.com. On the right-hand side, there's a little button. You click on the thing. You get into Amazon just the way you normally do, but it feeds us a little bit of cash from Amazon, not from you. And it's a cool way. It's a great way to help us out by really not doing anything.
I spent $25 on the Amazon link today.
Thank you.
Good job.
We also accept reoccurring and one-time donations via PayPal. That information is also on the website too. You can go from $1 a month. We have a couple people doing that, all the way to whatever you $100. I don't want to limit you, but that helps out a lot. I appreciate that. Or you can do a one-time thing, and that works as well. You can also purchase Cove Ears. Taren, is the camera on me?
Yeah, it is.
You go to getcoveears.com, GetCovears.
Yes.
That's ears? Okay. Well, I'm not really. And so they fit even on these little headbands. You check this out. You get the zebra ones, and you want to transform them into the cheetahs, and you don't want to pay like $15 for a new headband. Look at that. Bam. New one.
Yep.
Easy to use. Pull them off. Put them on. Whatever you want to do. Getcoveears.com. Do it. Do it now. Did you do it yet? Stop the podcast. Do it now.
We will wait.
We will wait.
Okay, ready? We're waiting.
I'm waiting.
Churro shirts. You can see I'm still wearing my churro shirt from the last show. You can either go to the blog. We have a link on there. Or you go to churroshirt.com. Send all your friends to churroshirt.com. It really just redirects to the site, which then redirects to the actual site, which is TeePublic. But, whatever. If you don't mind a couple of redirects, what do you care? Buy a churro shirt. Look cool.
You won't even notice.
Won't even notice. Our good friend Push Eject is selling his Nightmare Before Christmas inspired little skulls, just like everyone's favorite Haunted Mansion overlay. You go to Etsy.com and search Push Eject. That's one word, and you can buy them there. And they're really cool. And him and his two little girls make these things, and they're really cute. We have one. I was really excited to pull it out and put it in our little Nightmare Before Christmas village. So that was cool. Also, the lovely artist Lulu Gumshoe, who made our churro castle. She has a.
It wasn't me.
I know,
I'm not doing it.
but this is okay. You go to tpublic.com and you can search Beer Me. She has a little beer glass. What is up? What is going on?
She's happy Becca.
All right, I'm going to just turn her down
Yeah,
so I don't have
off.
to hear that. Okay, and then so that's it. Those are our plugs, right? Support Lulu. It's a cool. If you know if you have a beer lover in your life,
Have you seen
you
that
can check
shirt?
that out.
It's
Yeah,
amazing.
It's so cool.
it's cute. It's a little
Yeah.
hunched over beer bottle. It says, I need a me.
I need a me.
I think it's adorable. Okay, we got through. We got the sillies out. We sure? Well, your mic's off. No one can hear you apologize. In the studio, no one can hear you apologize.
Ooh, that was good.
Apologize. Okay, so we're gonna do a Walt feedback. Okay, we're gonna do feedback. You know what I like about the show is that we talk before the episodes. Go
I
ahead.
told you.
I forgot.
Okay, well, so I don't know what you want from me.
I don't know either. Go ahead, Taren. Feedback.
All right, this one's from Dan. I really enjoyed hearing your on-show reactions to my suggestions for the International Booze Cruise.
Yes, which we didn't really do, but that's all right.
But that's okay. They were still really good suggestions. And wanted to thank you for reading it. It's unfortunate that this was after the Disneyland area musicomatic, where I was literally yelling at my phone because people were having trouble identifying music that I immediately recognized. But since I have a degree in music and have been to Disneyland at least 300 times, nerd. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I probably have to.
Were you kidding
I
like
just
you
haven't
didn't say you were trying to save power?
He concludes with, I suppose I'm not entirely normal. He concludes that paragraph. If you want to get together at Trader Sam's at Disneyland, sometimes shoot me an email.
You are the worst.
What? promise.
He concludes this sentence with a period. Like, yeah, I gather
space.
that. Yeah.
Well, I was just pointing out that it wasn't done.
Okay, great.
I promise to... I like this part. If you want to get together at Trader Sam's at Disneyland sometime, shoot me an email. I promise to either not be awkward or to make the awkwardness fun for everyone. I mean all of that sincerely and have no expectation that it would happen. # no stalker. Thanks again. You might suck at Disneyland music identification, but I still enjoy you.
Aww.
Now it's done.
Okay, great. He concludes with a period. That's great. Yeah, so if you remember, he suggested renting a little scooter.
Yeah.
Which we should have done.
Yeah.
I think our highest walking was done at Epcot, and it was like 11 miles.
Yeah, it was... That place is crazy.
Yeah.
The next one is from Chris. I love your show! !
Space.
Yeah.
Capital I.
Right.
Stumbled upon your podcast in iTunes accidentally when I was looking for a podcast to fill the Disneyland void between trips to the park. I listened to the Clean the Kingdom episode, and I am hooked. I've been binge listening to the show, and it makes me smile to hear other people as crazy for Disneyland as I am. I've already ordered my churro sweatshirt.
Nice.
He's committed.
Totally.
Yeah.
And I look forward to proudly wearing it in the park this coming November when I make my yearly.
Oh, man. I hope it's cold enough for a sweatshirt.
Yeah, I know. Me too.
Yeah.
I look forward to more posts of the show. Thank you.
Oh, I wonder when he's going. We're going in November.
Yeah, we're going in November.
Yeah, well, most of us.
Man.
We're trying. I'm getting
I know.
a few more jobs on the side.
We're trying. Life has just hit us pretty hard right now, but we're trying.
Yeah. Hopefully we
Help me. I'm poor.
That's it for feedback.
That is it for feedback.
Did you say we have a Terrence Think today?
We do.
Yes.
Okay.
Have you guys ever thought about...
Probably not.
Well, okay, so like I guess sometimes I think about if there's somebody that is exactly like me,
Oh, gee.
but on the other side of the world.
So like...
So kind of like a Bizarro Taren, but like...
Yeah. Which...
But like maybe like if it was on the opposite side of the world, maybe it would be like Asian Taren.
Okay.
Like... Because that would be like the opposite of here, right? Something like that. Like China,
actually, I don't...
Maybe, or Korea.
Sure. Let's go with Korea.
Well, and so then, if that's even possible, and I mean like personality-wise, like there's somebody that's like just like you. They look like you. They're just like a different nationality.
Okay. All right.
And they obviously have different DNA because I'm not stupid.
Okay, first of all, rude, because I've definitely thought about what if I'm
Well,
alone.
no. Let her finish. Let her finish.
Go,
All
I'm
right.
sorry, continue.
Finish.
Fair enough.
Finish, Terrence.
No, and that's kind of it. Just like I
Just a what if?
yeah, it's a what if-
open-ended
like,
what if question?
Have you ever thought about it? Because I have. I have
Okay.
thought about that there might be like another me somewhere.
If you have a doppelganger, is what you're asking? Or?
It's more than a doppelganger. It's like the same person, but
So
just a different. Yeah, but might look,
But an Asian clone.
but like still looks like me, but a different nationality.
But
maybe.
shorter and darker skin and black hair.
Maybe, yeah,
Okay. So,
yeah.
okay. So, I thought your question was what if?
So what would happen?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
And then, like, I thought there was more to it. Like, then you would meet this person and you would share some dim sum, or like what?
No, you can't ever meet. You're never going to meet them. Otherwise, we would already know this is happening. Like, somebody would have met theirs at some point, and you would know that this already happens. So you can never meet. It's kind of like when McFly can't meet himself in the future.
Okay. Do you know?
Or Harry Potter.
Do you know what? Do you know why that is though? Like the theory of that, if there's time travel, you're the same matter.
Yes,
and
exactly.
matter can't occupy the same space. So in theory, if you time traveled, you can't hold yourself as a baby because the whole universe would explode.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. So,
Well-
but I feel like if you just had a doppelganger, you guys could, give each other piggyback rides and nothing would happen.
No.
That'd be real funny.
No. It's a long, drawn out no.
No.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like it's a little bit more than just a doppelganger. So, like, you can't. I don't know. It just. I wouldn't want to meet my other self.
Why not?
I don't know. Because it would
like
be
a
freaky.
fight. Maybe it's like there can only be one.
Yeah,
so it would
it's
be
more like
a
Fight
to the
Club.
death.
There can
Or like
only
the
be
Highlander?
one Taren.
Live while
Yeah.
the other survives.
Like the
Yeah.
Highlander.
I've never seen that.
Okay.
Could there be Taren thinks in Chinese?
Terrence thinks in China. That would be scary.
I'm
We
gonna Google that.
There could be.
Well, good job, Taryn. I did.
So I love Terrence Thinks,
Me too.
but I swear it gives me a headache every single time.
Me too.
I do get headaches a lot.
Me too.
We go through like a lot of ibuprofen.
My favorite part is when they start out. Okay, so
Well, because most of it is like me trying to figure out how to explain this stuff to you guys. 'Cause it's like, in my head, it's so clear, but then having to speak
yeah, you're a regular Einstein.
a whole different thing.
Yeah, now you know what old Albert had to deal with.
I know.
Out to the world is hard work.
It is.
She's really pretty.
I'm serious.
I don't know.
That one actually, usually
No.
I can
No.
accept your things on a deep and personal level and
Yeah.
understand where you're coming from.
Not that one.
That one confused me. Like if you had just said, "What if have you ever thought about if you had a clone out there?" I can get behind that. Your whole thought process.
Wait. So having a clone makes more sense than having a person that happens to look like you and maybe has a trait or two that's familiar?
Okay,
Like all the traits.
first of all,
All the traits.
rude.
But look
I'm just
different.
saying,
Like the exact same person, but
but just a different nationality.
And
Yeah,
different
man.
DNA.
Right.
because she's not stupid. Different DNA.
What?
It's great because it just keeps going.
Oh.
I thought we got over the laughs and then we're back on it
Yeah,
because it's
sorry.
just a weird. No, don't apologize.
It
It's just a
happened.
weird question where it just it's one of those long ones.
I might think about this on the way
But
home.
what-
and laugh.
But what if? But what
Just-
if?
Then
Yeah. So.
just then, man. I don't know.
Oh goodness.
You did good, Taryn.
Thanks.
Yes.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I try.
That's still going. Whatever. All right, let's move on. So, we went to Walt Disney World
Yeah. You guys got
for a
married.
honeymoon. That was cool. So, basically, that's what the show is going to be about. Just a little bit of recap of our trip. We documented maybe perhaps a little over heavy on Facebook and stuff. Not on the show Facebook or whatever. But we did a day in Disneyland. And then we went to Portland. And then we hopped over to Florida to do Universal Studios, sort of. And then like 5 or 6 days in Walt Disney World, which Taren and I had never been to. And I thought it'd be really cool if we just kind of hung out here and talked about it. It's just going to be an informal chat-up show. What's different, what we liked, what we didn't like, what we did, what we experienced, and ways that Disney can improve. I don't know, whatever. I just made that up.
Yeah.
So we took off. We got there Sunday night.
Yes.
Did we go into the park Sunday night? I can't remember.
No. By
We
the time we
stayed
got
at
there, it was
the-
closed.
Okay, we stayed at the Disneyland Hotel.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
We got upgraded too. That was nice.
Oh yeah. Okay, so we get in the park
Upgraded to what? From
A
what
suite.
to?
Just a regular
Nice.
room to a suite.
for our honeymoon. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool. Yeah, and it was cool because if you go on your honeymoon, those of you who haven't done this yet, just let everybody know that it's your wedding, that you're on your honeymoon,
Okay.
because you never know. And like this, the lady who was checking us in she was like, "Oh, it's your honeymoon. Okay, well," and then she was taking an extra long time, and we're like, "Oh, what's going on?" We kind of both looked at each other, and 5 minutes later, she's like, "Okay, I was able to upgrade your room," and blah blah blah. And it's like, wow.
Not
Yeah.
bad.
Because we
Terrence,
told
that's
her
the
this.
plan.
Just
Always
say
on
you're on
your
your honeymoon.
I
With
want-
your 3 kids.
Yeah, we
Be
got
like, we're on our
three kids.
honeymoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't judge us.
Yeah.
Did it the other way around.
These are my 3 kids: Jon Snow Jr., and Jon Snow III.
Oh,
Goodness.
man.
It can happen.
So that was cool. But anyway, so we went into the park and we did a couple cool stuff. We checked out the Haunted Mansion.
Yes.
And so we were able to see the Night Before Christmas overlay, which
Yeah.
was gorgeous, of course. The gingerbread house in the dining room scene looked rad as a house of cards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
yeah.
like leaning over or
Really
whatever.
cool.
I posted a terrible photo on our
Yeah,
EarzUp
it was
Twitter.
terrible, yeah.
Yeah, because you're moving or whatever,
Yeah.
but nobody else had done it. And last year we got the exclusive
Right.
photos of
Right.
the thing, right? And this year we were just unable to do it. So
Was it your first time seeing the Hatbox Ghost as well?
No.
This is okay.
not our
Okay.
first time, but
Okay.
it was working.
It worked one time. It didn't work one time.
That's right.
Oh, okay.
Which is weird because a lot like the flying saucers that didn't work, they took them out and then they brought them back in as Luigi's flying tires.
right.
The Hatbox Ghost was removed because it wasn't working.
Right.
And they brought it back, and the effects don't work as well as
Right.
it's the same thing. It's like,
Right,
how do
right.
you whatever? So anyway,
But I did see the Velvet Elvis for the very first time.
Where
That's
was
right.
I couldn't find it. Where was it?
It was
on the left
when
side.
you're riding. It's on the left side. Probably about
Halfway through?
10 to 15 feet before the bride.
Oh, okay.
So
Velvis?
right at the curve.
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it looks
Velvis?
the Velvis,
Velvet
yeah,
Elvis,
the
yeah.
Velvet Elvis. The coolest thing I think we did was we finally got to captain the Mark Twain
Yes.
Oh,
riverboat,
nice.
and that was one of the last things we did. We just went up to the guy and like, oh, you got to talk to the captain. They don't start the first run. I think is like at 10:45, and we hit him up as first time we kind of went to the park. A lot of stuff was down, which was a little disappointing, but whatever.
Was Pirates being refurbed when you guys were there?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
we weren't able
Pirates
to go
was
on that.
closed.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, so we captained the Mark Twain. What?
Well, we also were able to have dinner at Club 33, the new one, which
Right.
was very nice.
We're talking about the Mark Twain right now.
I know. Oh, I
Okay.
didn't. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I want to hear about 33.
Sorry.
Okay, that's okay. And so anyway, there is no like waiting list really. I think a lot of the people on the docks rotate. So when someone captains a ship and then they come down and then someone else who's letting people in or helping to dock it then goes and captains or whatever.
Right.
So they just you ask someone at the front and they'll just tell you who to talk to, and that's going to be the next person to captain.
Okay.
And it was really easy. And you just hang out for a bit and you go up the thing and and you're steer. They have you steer the little wheel, which is cool, but it's
Right.
on a track.
right. Right.
So you're not really going to crash it, but that was kind of fun because they don't tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
They just go, "Oh, do you want to take your turn steering this thing?" Oh yeah, sure. And we already knew about it, so
Right.
we were kind of having fun. But they don't tell you it's on a track, so don't worry. You're actually not piloting it.
Right.
So I can just imagine people like really panicking. Like, oh my
Yeah.
god! Oh my god! Oh my god! So that was real cool.
Yeah.
And then yes, we got to go to Club 33 as our honeymoon thing. So that was
Yeah.
pretty fun.
That was really nice.
What'd you guys eat?
I forget. I don't know. I'm a real bad fancy food eater. I don't really like eating fancy food because I think I've talked about it on the show before. It's nothing you can recreate at home.
Right.
And I like to eat fancy food so I can learn about it. What? Brad's here. What do you want, Brad?
You can totally recreate it at home.
Oh, you can make cilantro foam?
Absolutely.
Yeah? Okay, go ahead.
It would require a
Cilantro?
cilantro
All right.
and a foaming agent.
Like soap?
No, I have to look it up.
Okay.
But you could definitely do it at home.
Well, what's the point of cilantro foam?
I don't know.
Have you ever had a
not?
dish
I
that
don't
has like
know.
special foam
like,
that hasn't do anything at all?
No, and actually, I don't get it either. Like foam is like it's the cool thing, but it
Yeah.
doesn't really add anything.
No.
It doesn't even really have a flavor
Egg
almost.
white, a foaming agent?
Yes, it could be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gross.
Well, it was like a.
And actually, you know what, Bev? That's actually true. It's probably you probably use a lecithin, which is what the agent is in egg whites.
Oh.
Boom.
Well,
Hold on.
I like how she
Hold on.
took Brad's idea
Totally. She's
and then
like,
claimed it as her own.
In your face.
Suggested it.
One,
Sort of.
1 cup of water, 3/4 cup chopped cilantro, a package of gelatin powder, and
really
a
did
tablespoon of cold water.
all right.
And that makes foam.
Yeah.
Boom.
That's weird.
Maybe in a ISI canister, like a
Yeah.
Whipped
You're
cream?
absolutely
Whipped cream
right.
canister, yeah.
He's absolutely right.
Foam. I just stop it.
Well,
Foam should be on cars and clothes and maybe hands, and that's it.
well, I'll say that getting back to the actual food, like it was amazing. It was delicious and it was wonderful and
It's fine.
everything was really good. It's like a 4-course like meal, so you kind of
Yeah.
pick all your things, and so by the time your first course comes, you forget what you ordered for your last
Right.
course. So it just starts happening, and you go with it. And it was all delicious, but I will say, like, having been to the old Club 33 and the new one,
Yeah.
there's definitely a different vibe that I preferred at the old one.
I prefer the old one too because for a few reasons. One, because it felt like a more of an old school restaurant, which I liked that kind of vibe. It's darker. You got to choose certain things, and I like that. I don't like the new thing. Oh, we're just going to go, I forget they had a special name for it, but it starts with like 4 courses, and then you can add a 5th or a 6th one on. And of course, the food's very small, and there's a wine pairing that goes with it. And I don't know, it seemed too pretentious. It seems too...
Bougie.
It was a little bougie, yeah.
Hella bougie.
I will say, though, there was a little bit of Disney magic in the whole thing. They gave us, because we told them we were on our honeymoon.
Got to do it.
We got this little bag of
Macaroons.
Macaroons.
The French macaroons.
French macaroons and a card that we ended up not opening right then. And we ended up not even opening it till we got home from our honeymoon. But it turns out it was signed by all of them.
By the entire staff.
By the entire staff.
Oh,
Entire
that's
wait
awesome.
staff.
Hand
Oh,
signed.
that's
Yeah.
nice.
It was really cool.
Yeah, it just said congratulations, like from Club 33 or something. And I was like, wow, that's for the scrapbook.
Yeah.
Like, it was pretty awesome.
It was neat. It's the little things,
That
man.
was really nice.
Yeah, so that was the best part. And that was it. That was our Disney. We didn't really
Yeah.
do a whole lot. I didn't have a whole long time.
Yeah, we were only there for about half day.
Yeah. All right, and we went to Portland, did fun stuff. Then we land in Orlando.
Yes. And we get there, and it's hot. It's really,
Oh my
really,
God.
really, really
Yes.
hot. We landed at 11:30 at night,
Yeah.
and we walked outside and went, oh, we're in Florida.
Yeah. Welcome
Like
to.
a wet.
It was a
It
wet
was
blanket.
blanket.
It was
yes,
a blanket.
it
on
really was.
and that was the next 7 days.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'll tell you, you don't really realize how little water you drink during the day until you're in damp humidity, dampness, hotness.
Yeah.
I mean, we suffered the first 2 days. We realized we need to start pounding water like there's a drought in California.
Right.
Yeah, it just like the first half of the day, we were like, this is not this. We both feel weird, like my ankles were sweating. I've never sweat out of my ankles before.
it was definitely
Yeah,
awful, honestly. The weather was terrible.
Yeah.
But
painful.
We knew that going in, and you kind of just have to bear with it. You're spending a lot of money to be in this terrible weather. So the first thing we did was we went to Universal Studios.
Yes.
And
Was it Adventure Island or whatever dumb name it is?
it's split into two, a lot like Disneyland. So there's Adventure Island and then Universal Studios. And of course, we really went there for one reason, and that was Harry Potter.
Yeah.
And they have very strategically split those into the 2 parks, so you have to get the park hopper to get the whole experience.
Very smart.
Yes. Especially since the rest of those parks are not really that great.
Yeah. So
To us, we don't do.
it's not us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the first park we went to was the Diagon Alley
Yeah.
part, right? Which is
Yes.
the Escape from Gringotts
Yes.
Bank. That's the new. So it's the new park. It's a whole new thing. And I don't know, man. You kind of walk into this little. It looks like the front of I don't know, just some English little street, some high street or whatever. I think the facade that you go into, I believe, is the Order of the Phoenix house, where like they do the spell and the house expands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's like the door to go into there, and that was kind of cool. And then to the left of it, there's a little brick wall that you kind of just walk through. And
For Grimald Place.
Yes.
Thank you very much. And the brick wall doesn't have anything on it. There's no signs that say Harry Potter land this way or whatever. I just kind of, I was walking towards, then they have next to that, they have King's Cross Station.
Yeah.
Which is where you take the train to the next park.
And it legitimately looks like a train station.
Yeah,
like,
it looks great.
It's not like bells and whistles. It just says King's Cross Station.
Yeah, there you go. And I didn't know that that's how you get into the thing. I just saw these two people kind of duck into this hole in this brick wall, and they kind of walk around the corner. I'm like, come on, Taren, let's go this way. And then you walk through it, and it's the front part. It's just like you go into Diagon Alley just from, what is the
Platform 9 3/4?
No. How you get in Diagon Alley.
Oh,
The leaky cauldron. Thank you very much. And so you walk, and it's that.
Yeah.
And just as much as you walk into Cars Land, and it's the movie.
Yeah.
That's what this is. It
Yeah,
is their
I
Cars
straight up
Land.
was like tearing up and like trying to hide it from Jason because I was like, this is kind of ridiculous. And then I was thinking about Bev, and I was like, oh my God, Bev would be crying. And I was just like, this is so
There'd be so many
amazing.
feelings.
Oh my God! Yeah, I texted Bev. I was like, "You can never come here because your wallet would explode.
Yeah.
I got a text from him. He was like, "You will buy all the things."
You will buy everything in this place."
I mean, I wanted to buy you all the things.
I got that text too. He was like,
Yeah.
"We're trying not to buy you everything," and I'm like, "You guys are on your honeymoon."
It was rad, man. And so we kind of looked around a bit, but we just decided to go for the ride because the park had pretty much just opened,
Right.
and so we didn't want to mess around with any lines or whatever. So you kind of go into the side,
Straight.
whatever. I'll spare the exact details, but you go into the ride, and it's really cool. The foray into the actual queue is cool. You're going down the walkway to the bank, and there's
Yeah.
little
Right.
goblins on each side, and they're animatronic, and they're doing their thing, and it's so cool.
Wow.
So realistic. It's insane.
And then you go
Are they
da-
raised?
Yes.
Yeah, they were raised.
Yeah.
It just looks just like the movie, man, and it looks really good. And you go through, and there's a portion of the queue where it's there's like on either side there's desks, and on the desks they have newspapers, and then they made so the photos in the newspapers are just like little screens, just like in the movie.
Right.
The pictures are moving on the newspapers,
Yeah.
stuff like that. It was so
That's
cool.
so cool.
It's just like, wow, this is, and it seems so simple.
Right.
It's just a resin thing. I mean, it's not like
Right.
a real newspaper, obviously, but they nailed it. They did a great job, and you kind of worm your way up and down these things. It's very intricate. Like the queue is very weird. You kind of
Yeah.
like down a spiral staircase and then kind of up another thing, and you walk into the.
So you're like going through Gringotts, and
Yeah,
you're
through the
taking through the back.
you're going to go to
back
the
way and, like,
whatever the.
The vaults.
Yeah, the vaults.
Thank you very much. And then before you go on the ride, I think I may have things backwards, but they kind of did this weird thing where you go and you're seeing the scene of an office in Gringotts, and then there's like a screen that plays a show with like one of the Weasley brothers and a goblin, and they're like interacting, and it's so
Yeah.
obviously standard def. Like everything else around it looks great, and the show just looks terrible. It's like kind of faded
Right.
and just not as dialed up as everything else is. And you're
Right.
like, this is really
Yeah.
what is going on?
It
And
really
it-
kind of took you out of it because you're in this
Yeah.
office at Gringotts, and it's really cool. And and then you just see like this flat image, and you're like, what?
Yeah, and
What
it's
do
real
you-
stupid.
What's happening?
I didn't
What
like
was
it.
it a video? Like what was
It,
the
it,
purpose
it
of
basically it's
I
setting up the
know.
ride. So,
Yeah.
and I didn't hear
Was
it. Sorry.
It's Bill Weasley.
Yes.
Bill
Yeah.
Weasley.
Yes.
He's
Yes.
the one who worked at Gringotts.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it just
sets up the ride.
It sets up the ride. Like he's like talking to the goblin or whatever, and I think it's like we need to go into our vault or I don't know. Honestly, I didn't pay attention. I had zero. I couldn't really hear it.
So, what
and then
I'm-
they started the show before the entirety of the audience was
Okay.
actually in, so I kind of missed it.
What I'm envisioning is the thinking of Disneyland. What's the ride? The
Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
where the guy's talking.
It's like
Is it
that, but
sorta like that?
they did it
Yeah.
better because theirs is like they made it
Like
look
a
like an
reel?
old timey video. This is not a video.
This just looks low quality.
It's supposed to look like they're in that room.
Yeah, it's a projection
But-
effect, but it
It's bad.
doesn't look good.
Okay.
It just doesn't look good. So anyway, and then so Bill is like kind of your guide to escape from Gringotts. Okay, so you get on the ride, and it's really cool. I kind of honestly forget it because it went by so fast.
Yeah, it was a pretty quick ride, but it's a roller coaster type ride, but it's unlike regular roller coasters because like
can't even describe it. I have no idea how they did the ride mechanics.
Yeah.
You kind of float around and you turn different directions and you're kind of just all over the place.
Yeah, it's really unique.
Fascinating. It's fascinating
Are you
how
in like
they
a
did
train or
it. You're in the car.
You're in one of the carts.
one of the carts?
Yeah.
The
Okay.
cart's just like in the film.
And then you get in this fight with Voldemort, and there's this whole thing.
Yeah,
and
they have characters from the movie, and it's really cool. So a couple of different parts. You're kind of in at the same time that Harry and the kids are escaping from Gringotts. So they're like, casting spells at the dragon kind of a thing, and you're like off to the side seeing this happen, and then Bill's interacting with you, and it's like, oh, well, that's really cool. You're in the movie. Mm-hmm. And then you see them escape on the back of the dragon, and then you bust out somehow. I kind of forget, whatever.
Yeah, the story part of it was a little lost on me, but the ride itself was really cool.
Amazing. Super amazing. So then we get out of the ride, and then we actually have time to explore, because now that we did the ride and, whatever. And every building is a shop. You can go in and buy your school robes. Mm-hmm. You can go in and buy your wands. There's Ollivanders. We spent an hour
Yes.
because of me.
Yes.
Choosing our wands because I wanted 5.
The wand chooses
Yeah.
you.
The
He still
5
wants
wands
5.
were choosing me. I mean, so they had so they have a bunch from different characters, and not just the A-list characters, but like C-list characters, like Cedric Diggory's wand.
Yeah. They
Like,
have everyone's
seriously?
wand.
He was in the movie for 10 minutes in total. You can buy his wand, Crom,
Yeah.
that dude
Cho
from
Chang.
Yeah, Cho Chang's wand. A bunch of other people,
All the
right?
professors, like everybody.
It was really cool. And so there's 2 wands you can buy. There's one that's interactive and one that's not. The interactive one is $47. Of course, we got to it. And so what they've done, and by interactive, so at various storefronts in various places throughout this little thing, there's little placards, and you take your interactive wand, and it really just has a reflector in the tip. And in the like storefront windows, for example, there'll be little scenes, and there's a little infrared camera, and you aim the thing at the camera and do this intricate spell thing, just make a 4 in the air or whatever. And if you do it just right, you'll catch the infrared light, bounce it back to the receiver, and the thing will happen in the scene. So you have to do one to like open up
So
the
you
windows
do
and
the
the marionettes.
spell.
So
and you
you're
do the
doing
spell.
a spell.
Does the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, or above Bergen and Bork's, whatever. There's like a whole second story like facade with a bunch of light chandeliers and lights and stuff. And if you do the spell just right, they all turn on and flicker on and they turn off. Or you go in Bergen, Nocturne Alley, to go on your way to Bergen and Bork, and there's a window with just a bunch of shrunken heads, and they're all singing and telling terrible jokes.
Yeah.
It's like the Jungle Cruise. It's
Like
really
Ernie?
amazing.
Yeah.
In the night bus.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if you do the spell right,
Sorry.
you cast a tongue-tying spell, and then they go,
Yeah.
Oh.
pretty cute.
My favorite was there's a water fountain, and if you do the Aquamente spell, that's what makes the water fountain go. There's not
Oh,
a button.
Cool stuff like that.
Oh, like to drink?
Yes.
The water fountain.
Yeah.
That would piss me off. A million degrees outside, just want some water.
I think on the other side you could push a button.
Probably.
Yeah.
But I thought that was awesome.
Like, what if you didn't have the interactive wand and
Like,
you're just
I'm thirsty.
You lose.
But it was, and then so they had about like 9 other different wands that are just of various birch and alder and whatever, and they kind of have this whole thing about it brings out your personality, or it's reflective of your personality. So you're supposed to read the thing. I'm protective of whatever, and then I'm supposed to be pick the alder wand. Anyway, you get Voldemort's wand. So I got Dumbledore's wand
After
about an hour. Seriously, about an hour.
like no joke. Like I was just standing there and I was like he was like a little kid who got one toy and could not decide which one he wanted.
Yeah, I couldn't. That's
Oh.
exactly what it was.
And then
Literally
as soon
what
as
it was.
like 10 minutes after we walked out of the store, after he had decided,
Oh God.
he was like, "Do you think they'd let me return it?" I was like, "The wand chose
Because I
you."
saw some broad with Voldemort's wand. I was like, oh my God, that's what I want. And then I realized I want both of them. And all of that, I want 5.
You want all of them.
Yeah,
All
but
the
I don't
wands.
have $8,000 to spend on wands.
The picture you sent me from Ollivander's shop
Yeah.
just looked amazing.
It
Yeah,
looks
it
like
was
the
awesome.
movie, right? You're there. And it's not just like a storefront that's, whatever, and then you walk in and it's like a Macy's or what. It's the thing.
Yeah.
They did such a good job. They nailed everything. It was so good.
So yeah, so then we, after kind of exploring Diagon Alley, which was amazing, we went to
Hogwarts.
King's Cross,
Yeah, we took the Hogwarts Express.
which that in itself is a ride, and it was incredible. Like again, I was like, oh my god, Bev would cry.
Yeah,
'Cause-
so you go on 9 3/4. You go into the train, and when it pulls in the station, the windows are black. So I'm like, okay, there's clearly some projections or there's a thing. This is a thing, and it's taking you to another park. So they're not going to spend a bunch of money making everything look like. How do you make Orlando look like the English countryside, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So you walk in, you're in a little car, and there's like a shade pulled on one side, and the other side's the window, which is a projection, and you see the English countryside, and you see the Death Eaters flying around, and it's a whole interactive thing. I don't want to spoil everything for
Yeah.
you, but
Well, and there's only like 6 people in the car, so you're really like Harry and Hermione, like you're just sitting there, like I don't know, it's
Hanging
really
out.
cool. Yep,
it was neat.
going to Hogwarts.
And then you get out, and you're in Hogsmeade,
You're in Hogsmeade, and so
which is the first park that they did, and it was
Yeah.
very evident
is very evident
because there were a lot of storefronts, but not a lot of stores.
yeah,
And
there's
there
like
was
fake stores.
A couple places to eat. Things didn't, work the same way. It was very different. They still had the interactive things. So I do recommend if you go, get the interactive
Yeah.
one. Spend the extra $12 or whatever it is because your kids are going to like
This
it.
is Hogsmeade.
Hogsmeade.
Did you
And
know the Hog's Head?
We
yes,
did.
We ate there. Yeah.
Yeah.
You did.
Which is weird. You have to go in and they seat you after you eat.
Yeah.
You don't get to sit down. And we saw a few families get kicked out of their seats because they just came in and sat down while the dad went to go stand in line for food. It's like, but that's not
That's not how
that's
they
not
do
how it
things
works.
there.
I don't know why, but
Very weird.
Yeah. Anyway, so
The first thing that I noticed when we walked into Hogsmeade was
Yeah.
that you can see over the berm, so you can see another ride at Universal Studios, and so that doesn't happen at all in Diagon Alley.
yeah.
Like, so I didn't feel fully immersed, which was a little bit disappointing,
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
especially after going to Diagon Alley. But then we went on the Harry Potter ride, which is all I wrote because I forget what it was actually called.
Where they're at
Journey
the school,
through-
journey through Hogwarts or something like that. Whatever it is.
I don't know, something. But that ride was, the queue for it was ridiculous. The queue for it was better than the ride, I think.
The queue for it is probably better than Indiana Jones queue
Yeah, it's probably the best queue ever.
because you're going through kind of the school.
Yeah.
And you pass these big stone statues, and they had a couple of choir singers, like 3 choir singers with like these big singing toad puppets.
With the toads.
Mm-hmm.
It was cute. I was like, that's amazing. And they were real people. They weren't just animatronics. The
Yeah.
toads are puppets, but they
Right.
were in there
But they're real
singing.
people
Singing.
singing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's rad.
It was
Yeah,
cool.
That's a good job.
and
Were
you
they lip syncing or were they really?
No,
No,
I
they
think
were
they were
really
really
singing.
singing. They could have been lip syncing, but I think that they were actually. It was only 3 people. It was really cool. And you go through a couple different places, a couple little tight rooms with a bunch of portraits
Yeah.
that talk,
Yeah.
just like in the movie. And they're just like cracked screens that look like old paintings. And it just, I don't know. I can't explain enough. It
was amazing.
It was so cool, and you just want to stand there. And I actually a little bit disappointed that the lines were moving so fast
Yeah.
because I wanted to sit and
Said
see
no
the
one
repeat
ever.
of all the
Yeah.
things. Right, exactly. So you go through you get in the classroom, the dark arts classroom, and again, there's like, it looks like the thing. It has a big skeleton in the ceiling, and there's all this kind of stuff. It's so intricately themed. And then you look up on the balcony, and there's a screen, and I'm going, okay.
Here we
And,
go.
and Ron and Hermione and Harry pop out, and they interact with the crowd, and it looks terrible.
Yeah. It was the
It-
flat, just nothing.
It looks
again.
terrible, and it's like, oh, okay, this is great.
And they were really, it was like when they were really young. So
Yeah.
that also took me out of it because I'm like, dude, I know you've grown up. Like, come on. Like, you're not 12 anymore.
Yeah, let's be afraid of Voldemort. You killed him already.
Yeah.
Already know that.
He gone.
Spoiler alert. Anyway, and then you you go through the ride. The ride itself is insane.
It was really cool, but
It tilts you forward and it tilts you back almost flat on your back.
Yeah.
You're doing the whole thing,
It's
and
supposed to be like riding a broom. Like,
no,
what
well,
is it?
yes, you
Yes.
are riding a broom.
Yes.
Yes, and you're escaping Death Eaters, and you're going like you're dodging dragon, kind of. I think it was a dragon over Hogwarts and like up spires and all over. It gave me a headache. Like I had a headache for 2 hours afterwards because you're doing these such extreme maneuvers.
It was definitely a little too. They did too much with that ride.
They did too much. They tried to. They wowed it. I mean, they were like, we need to do everything right now, and they accomplished it.
Yeah, but
they could have reduced it by 20%.
if the
'cause it was
ride
too
had-
much.
Yeah, I think if the ride had gone on for even like 5 seconds more, I probably would have puked.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
it was.
wow.
It was. It was a little tough.
Yeah,
Wow.
Very cool.
very cool.
But very like, what just happened?
Yeah.
Like I felt like I don't know. It was very weird.
that was it. I mean,
yeah.
we did some other stuff, but those were the key things.
Yeah, that
we
was
had.
that was pretty much it.
We did the Simpsons land.
Yeah, that place was pretty cool.
That was
You
awesome.
can go to Moe's.
You can go to Moe's, get a Duff or a
You
Duff
get
Light.
a flaming Moe.
You get a flaming
They
Moe.
had
sell.
those
They
those?
sell them.
Yeah,
Oh, nice.
It was
a
awesome.
little dry, and it was
Nice,
cool.
not
It was
bad.
real neat, man.
Yeah.
Did the Men in Black ride?
No,
don't recommend it.
Don't recommend that.
Yeah.
Or Flight of the Hippogriff. That thing was stupid
No.
too.
Okay, so
But then
Disney World.
we went to Disney World and we spent our first day in Animal Kingdom.
Yeah, big mistake.
Well,
Big
Yeah.
mistake.
Your first
okay.
full
1 out of 10.
whole day?
we did
No.
not spend the whole day.
Okay, so here's the deal. People told us to not to get park hoppers, to spend a whole day in each park because that's how long it takes. No,
Absolutely
get
not.
park hoppers.
Negatory.
Get park hoppers. We don't have kids. We don't like shows. And it's hot.
Yeah.
I don't want to be. I don't like zoos. We're not zoo people. So there's Explore Conquer Everest or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Expedition Everest. That ride is amazing.
Oh
It's
my gosh.
kind of like
So
the
cool.
Matterhorn or whatever, and the Yeti at the end. It like tears up your track, and you kind of go to the thing, and you're like right up against this track that's just torn up. You can't go anywhere, and you're like, okay. And
The
they
ride
let
just
you
kinda stop.
They let you sit there for kind of a while, and you start going, what is going to happen? Is the track going to lower, like in Indiana Jones or whatever? And you go backwards.
Yeah.
Nice.
You do basically the whole
dark,
ride backwards.
into the dark, and then you stop,
So
and then you
cool.
go forward. It's a whole. It blew my mind.
Yeah.
So amazing. It was great.
Yeah.
We did the safari. That was real
Safari was
cool.
cool.
Although you could skip that.
No, you can't.
Is it
skip
like a real
There
safari?
are.
It's a real safari.
It's
There's
a real
real
safari,
animals.
and you can't skip it because there are only 3 rides there, and one of them was broken. So
There's not only 3 rides there. We only did 3 rides
I wrote
there.
3 cool rides.
Yes. And we didn't do the Jurassic Park water ride because we weren't trying to get wet.
Oh, and we didn't do the dinosaur
heat,
ride
that'd be
because it was
absurd.
closed.
Yeah, we did the dinosaur. Yeah, we didn't do the dinosaur ride because it was closed. We spent 20 minutes in the non-air conditioned room, and they didn't tell us it was closed. It was a whole. It was a whole thing.
So we didn't really like Animal Kingdom.
But you know what was cool? I noticed in Animal Kingdom, and I think mainly there.
The smell of poop?
Not the smell of poop. You know how we have like pigeons, or at least in Disneyland we have ducks, right? They had these weird little white birds with these long. Do you know what they were? You know what they were called? You guys know? But they have like little orange, like bent orange beaks, and they were They were the ducks and the pigeons.
Yeah.
In Animal Kingdom, we're sitting down eating. Like, what is this? Is so.
Yeah, they're like begging you for food.
Yeah, even their scroungers are exotic.
Yeah.
Those
That
birds
was
are
pretty
everywhere.
cool.
So it was neat. If you, I would say you don't have to do Animal Kingdom, but if you would like to, get a park hopper because there's not a lot going on. There's just not, and they're doing a lot of construction right now. So maybe it's different. The flow was very tight and confusing. It wasn't easy to get around.
One thing that was kind of cool, aside from the weird duck things that were walking around, there's also like monkeys
Yeah,
in the trees above you.
hanging out.
And I thought that was like, you really are at the zoo, but like a free zoo. I don't know. It was
You're
very,
in the zoo.
It was very weird and
Yeah.
and
It
cool
wasn't
in
free.
that
Nothing
respect.
about it was free.
That's called the wild.
Yeah. Oh,
The animals above you.
Yeah.
the wild.
It was crazy, but maybe if you have kids, it's different. I don't know.
Yeah.
But we were also super miserable because
It
it
was
was our like second day in the heat, and we're like, this is not for us.
Yeah.
We could never live here.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
We were at that point.
Then we hit Magic Kingdom,
Yep.
and that was
And-
amazing.
Oh my gosh. So I just have to say, people tell you, they're like, yeah, the castle's bigger. Like, no, that thing is breathtaking.
Yeah, the castle being bigger doesn't do the size justice.
No, that thing is like it's in a world of its own. I was floored.
So so we knew that there were differences in between the parks and whatever. And we stayed at the Grand Floridian because it's our honeymoon and we're going to spend a bunch of money we don't have in one time. And that's fine. So you can take the monorail over, which is just the next stop, or there's a boat because it's on a lake.
That
right?
was actually one of my questions. Is it as majestic going in?
Yes.
Is it
Yes.
everything that they want you to feel?
Oh, it's amazing.
all the feelings.
So if you go on the monorail, you get off and you go to the left and you kind of go up. And at this point, Disney World has done one thing better than Disneyland so far. There's a separate security line for people with no bags
Yes.
Nice.
or no strollers or anything. And we
So
didn't have
cool.
that, so we got to go right in. There wasn't a lot of people there to begin with, but the security check line is about 50 feet from the water, maybe 100 feet from the water. So you can take the boat dock and you walk in 100, 200 feet, whatever it is, half a White House.
like a
You're
quarter.
in the security check, and then 50 feet from the security check is the front gate. And so we had the magic bands, which are really cool, and I don't want to spend too much time on them, but those were neat. I would like to see them in Disneyland. I thought those were pretty cool because I think it got people through faster.
Yeah.
And you're right there. There's the train station, and that's the whole thing. And you go under the train tracks, just like in our park, and everything's a little bit bigger, a little bit wider, and you see the castle from everywhere. And we were standing there in awe of how giant this thing was. It's so unbelievably huge. It's so dominating.
Yeah.
On the landscape.
I just kept thinking, like, our castle looks like a cartoon compared to this thing.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like it's just so different. Like, it looks like a real castle. Ours now looks like a little toy.
A little fake castle, which is what it is. Well, because
Yeah.
in theirs they have a hotel or a room and a restaurant.
A full restaurant.
So
yeah.
you need that room, right?
Yeah.
And I think as a result, it seemed like their Main Street was taller.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think to not make the castle look so imposing.
Yeah.
On the surrounding area.
I think so.
But it was rad, and it was dressed up for the fall, for the Halloween, whatever. But they don't have the big Mickey pumpkin in the center like we do. They have these 3 little pumpkins stacked on each side, and I guess it's because the castle's their centerpiece, and they don't want to block the view. So we got a photo just in between the 2, pumpkins and whatever. And it was just, I don't know, everything was weird.
Everything's weird.
It was weird, and people were like, "Oh, it's so different. It's so cool. You're gonna love it. You're gonna hate it." A couple people were like, "It's like weird, alternate, bizarro Disneyland."
Yeah.
And that's exactly what it is. It's so weird and different. I don't know if it was better or not. I can't say that it was better
Yeah.
or
just
that it was
different.
worse. It was just different.
Just different enough to mess with you?
Yes,
Oh,
like
totally messed
like
with us.
walking to the hub where the partner statue is. They have a bunch of extra room for you to stand around and watch fireworks.
Yeah.
I mean, because they have tons of room, right?
Like these
so
little grassy knolls.
Wow, what's
Yeah.
that like?
it was weird.
Weird.
It was
Very
weird not to
open.
fight your way down the thing, right? The partner statue was weird because
The,
what?
the Mickey.
No, the Mickey Mouse, his like face and his shorts were different colors.
Yeah.
They were like bronze or something like that. It was very
yeah,
strange.
I didn't like that.
Yeah.
I thought it looked stupid.
But everything else was the same.
Huh.
It was so weird. They're doing a bunch of construction around on the sides of the castle. You totally see it.
Yeah, that was weird.
There was like a fence, like a 5-foot high fence, and I could just see them pouring concrete or whatever. I'm like, this is
Oh, they didn't have like the facade up?
no.
they had
and
like
I don't-
a half wall. It was
Yeah,
weird.
again, I don't know why. And so that was kind of one of our first clues that we're not in Disneyland.
Yeah.
Like, this is not. These are very different parks. As much as far apart as they are, there's not the same attention. I don't say attention to detail, but attention to the magic,
To the magic,
or the willingness to hide these certain things.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. We went through Liberty Square. That was kind of cool.
Yeah.
What else did we do? We did a bunch of
We-
stuff, man.
so we
And
went
we don't
on-
need to do like a chronological thing. We
No.
can kind of just jump into the stuff we like now. but-
Generally speaking, I think that Jason and I agreed that the queues for all of the rides are better at Disney
sorry.
World.
888-401-2337. If you live listeners want to call in right now, we can talk. If you have any questions for us, I know a few of you were emailing and talking to us on social media, asking us what our favorite parts were and stuff like that. So if you guys have any questions like that or want to refute what we're saying, 888-401-2337. Brad, have you guys been to Disney World?
Cindy has. I have not.
Cindy, when was the last time you went to Disney World?
I think I was there like 8 or 9 years ago.
Okay, relatively new.
Yeah.
And so you've been to Disneyland, of course,
A few times.
before Disney World or after?
Both.
Because I think that okay.
She's
keep-
been to Disneyland a lot of times.
Keep us in check then. If you disagree with what we're saying, I want you to chime in.
You got it.
All right.
So yeah, we generally speaking, I think the queues are all really cool. I don't know if that's because they have longer lines or what, but like Haunted Mansion, everything's interactive. They have like these tombs that you can touch and they make noise. There's like a picture of a keyboard and you touch it and it makes a keyboard sound. There's a cat, it makes a cat sound. There's another thing where there's this like book that's open and there's a spirit trying to finish this rhyme or this like little limerick, and but she can't think of the last word, and then you speak into this thing and you give her the last word and she goes, "Oh yes, that's what it is." Like, and it writes out on the thing. Like,
It's clearly they want that ride probably has really long lines, and these are involved things. There's
They want you entertained.
like
Yeah.
a crypt or whatever, but like an organ, and you can see little sensors, and you put your fingers down and you block the sensors, and it plays. I don't know if it plays the notes, but you put your fingers down like you know what you're doing. It goes brr, brr, and you can play it.
but the keys don't move.
The keys don't
It's
move.
because
It's just a sensor.
stone.
Right.
But like you're like a ghost, I think
Right.
is what you, or something like that. I don't know what, but it like blows a little bit of air at you and it blows a little smoke out, and it's kind of fun. It's just I don't understand it, but it was amazing.
So what do you guys think after the queue? Like
Well,
mansion ride?
We're getting there.
Oh,
So
sorry.
No, that's all right. That's all right. Another part of the queue they had like right when you're waiting to go into the room. So in ours, you're waiting to go into the
Front door.
to the front door. This was like a side door. I don't really kind of understand it. They didn't really set it up too well, but
Yeah.
they have a gravestone for Madame Leota on the left. Mm-hmm. And out of the corner of your eye, you can kind of catch movement. You're like, "What? Did that just?" So she'll blink, like her eyes will open, and then she'll blink. Her face will tilt forward or tilt back just enough,
But it's super subtle.
very subtle, just for you to catch it out of the corner of your eye.
Right.
Not cool, bro.
It was rad, and it's these touches that I would much rather see in Disneyland than Star Wars Park.
Yeah.
I would much rather see them give us interactive cues. Our lines are just as long.
Yeah.
Why can't
Yeah.
we have fun stuff to play around with?
Yeah.
Maybe
I mean-
because you're not in 100% humidity.
God, it was terrible.
Yeah.
So you go in, and ours is like a parlor, and here you walk into like a fireplace, and there's Master Gracie on the mantle. He says something you can't really hear, turns into a skeleton, and the doors open, and you walk into the stretching portrait room, the elevator, air quotes, which is not really an elevator.
Yeah.
So you walk. It looks about as tall as this room, like a 12-foot ceiling or whatever it is in here. I don't know. I'm looking at the other guy in here besides Terrence.
You're looking
Just
at
to
the
confirm,
other guy in here.
yeah.
About 12 feet.
Besides
Yeah.
Terrence. It's super short. And anyway, so that thing moves up. You don't actually move because
Yeah.
they don't have their water table's too high. They can't build a
Right.
whatever. And then, and so in ours, after you drop down, you go through the hallway and you see the portraits on the right-hand side, the windows on the left, and when the lightning strikes, the portraits change. This doesn't happen. You're like almost right on the ride. And you kind of go through this hallway with different portraits. Anyway, go through this, like you're on the ride. You go down this little hallway. There's like a library scene that's kind of cool, and that's where they have those statues where the eyes follow you.
Uh-huh.
They have 4 of them instead of 2 or 3 or whatever we have.
Okay.
And there's a couple different scenes. For the most part, it's kind of the same.
It's pretty much the same up until the end when you get to the hitchhiking ghosts.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh. This actually blew Disneyland out of the water. So you get to the part and they tell you like you're going to take home a ghost or whatever. So Jason and I, we get this ghost where he's sitting on top of our heads and he's like playing with our heads
Right.
and he switches our faces.
Yeah, this little puff of
Whoa.
smoke goes over your face. And so beforehand, they take like a still photo of your face at the time. And then he just makes moves like he's switching your heads. And it switches in the thing. And you're sitting there like,
What just happened?
this is so cool. And if you move your head a little bit, then you it's just a projection over your face. So if you move
Right.
your head, you can you can
Right.
see your own head poking out.
You'd
But
be like, oh, good. It's still there.
oh my God,
me.
I look so much better. And then it's cute stuff like that. And like ours, we just had this little stupid thing, this Pepper's
Right.
Ghost effect that kind of like wobbles around.
Right.
I don't understand. Why can't we have that cool stuff?
Yeah, it was like I was like, wow.
It was really cool.
I was really nervous because I was like, oh my gosh, Disney World is better than Disneyland, because that was like the first ride we did.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I was like, and the castle, and I was like, oh man, this is gonna be a
Castle
bummer.
was cool. I will say I liked their graveyard scene better. It was more vibrant.
Yeah.
You could, maybe not more vibrant, but more lit better, because you can see things a lot more clear. In ours, it's kind of blurry, and I think that screen that they use isn't really cool.
Yeah.
Right.
It kind of blocks a lot of stuff out, and
Right.
I didn't dig on it.
Yeah.
I didn't dig on it at all. In ours, I liked it on theirs, but whatever. What are you gonna do, man?
Yeah.
I don't know what else. What other weird stuff is Magic Kingdom?
Well, okay.
Small World
I
is
have
indoors.
Them all written out.
Okay.
Like all the things I thought were interesting. Well, one, the Electric Light Parade is there. Like that
was cool.
That was so cool for me. That's like my favorite thing. We didn't really see all of it, which was a little bit of a bummer, but I missed that thing so much. I wish we could get it back. It is nothing like Paint the Night.
Yeah.
It is so much better, and I
Yeah.
will never get sick of that song. The People Mover.
Did the People Mover, which is cool. Again, I mean, it takes you through a few rides, one of which is Space Mountain.
Uh-huh.
And I didn't really realize this. You go like around the track, on the outside of the track, when the thing is moving.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you're
it's actually
inside the
kinda
thing.
Scary.
Oh.
They don't do that
wow.
at Disneyland's one. The
They don't have
Disneyland
the
one.
People Mover.
Well, no, but when
But
they
they
did, they
didn't.
Oh
didn't
no,
do
they
that.
didn't do
like
that.
There wasn't
No.
enough room in
No.
the Space Mountain, but this Space Mountain is bigger,
Right.
and yeah, you're in it. It's very weird, kind of scary.
Yeah, very bizarre. Small World is indoors. The whole line is indoors, like the clock tower facade and all that kind of stuff. You actually walk behind that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I have
really
photos of
weird.
us like walking behind the thing. Here,
Crazy.
let me see if I can find it. It's really cool.
You rode that ride?
Yeah,
because
You
it's
have to. You're in Disney.
And actually, it's better.
No, I love that ride. I'm surprised they rode it.
well,
I liked it better than the Disneyland one because they don't sing the song the whole time.
it's like they
It's
hum
hummed.
it, or it's just maybe it's not even hummed. I think it's just the tune. So it starts, and then it's just the tune that plays over and over again, and then you get to the end room, and then they sing it again, and that's it.
But
Oh,
does
wow.
that really make it better?
No, but you know what made it better? they have a Grease land.
They did. They had Grease.
They represent the Greeks. But it's just like this weird little
It's like one thing
with a couple columns and a sheep herder playing the pan flute. And I'm like, okay,
Eating
so
a gyro.
right? Our culture brought you democracy, Greek
Yeah.
dramas, math, public schools,
Yeah.
and what are we reduced to? Pan flute playing sheep herders. India has a bigger room. What does India bring you? Spices and curry. Great.
Just like
Delicious.
every other land there.
I know. I feel like every other
You're
like
insulted
ethnic.
just like every other
Yes.
ethnic.
Like, jeez, we're reduced to pan flutes. Whatever. So ridiculous. But I don't know. I thought it was real cool. I did like it a lot. I'm trying to. What?
Well, so a couple
Oh.
other. Oh,
Check this out.
okay.
So that's
Like
that's
how
the
you
inside.
said okay.
That's from the front of the queue. Like
Oh,
like
wow.
where it says it's a small world, and you walk in, you're indoors, and there's the thing, man.
That's actually kind of cool.
It was kind of neat.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you got to save space somewhere. It was just weird. It wasn't, and that's what I mean. That's what a lot of it was. It wasn't bad. It wasn't good. It was different.
Yeah.
What
It was,
was
it was smaller too.
It looks very small.
It is
Yeah.
very small. What was weird about that? Here, let me see it real fast, Bev. Yeah. So on the and I'll show you. This will be on the blog, so don't worry. Like you walk behind the facade. Yeah, you can see. Maybe you can't. I'll show it on the blog. It's
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah.
showing
No,
photos isn't. But in the water, look at all that. Just change.
Oh,
People sit there
boy.
and they
There's
pitch.
so much money in there.
They pitch money into the
And
water.
there's a lot of silvers.
There's a lot.
Like you didn't give this place enough money.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
throwing
Yeah.
they're throwing change, and that is everywhere in the canals across through the waiting line.
You could have paid for the honeymoon on that.
Dude,
For sure.
Exactly.
There's
like
so much
look
money
at
in
that.
there.
Look at that. That is so amazing. I will put this on the blog. It is so amazing how much cash is in there. Anyway, but the ride was the ride. It's small world. You're not going to get anything different out of that.
Yeah. So and then also moving on, Pirates of the Caribbean was different,
Yes.
but
Very same. They have what they've been doing in Walt Disney World is they've been putting in more ethnicities in the
Oh,
pirates.
yes.
So now they have a black pirate.
Yeah.
And he looks just like Tupac Shakur.
yeah, that's where he's at.
I'm telling you.
Did we take a photo
Yeah,
of Tupac?
I sent it to Taryn.
Yes.
It was a terrible photo, but yeah, he's alive. And
Looks
he's-
like Tupac.
I've
He's
been
working
saying
at
it.
Disney World.
He's
I've been
alive and
saying
he's
it.
living in Disneyland.
Yes.
Disney World.
The
That's
last
where I'd go.
It's the only place where he can wear a
Yeah.
bandana and no one's like, huh.
Yeah.
All right. I'm telling you, dude.
You didn't have.
Oh, and
Yes.
the chick in the red dress that's being auctioned off,
The
Yeah.
redhead. Yeah.
the redhead, she is a little heavier at Walt
She.
Disney
I
World.
think she
Really?
has about
Holla.
10 pounds on
Oh.
ours.
I'd say 20.
And
I'm just saying she's a lot bigger.
what else they do at the Disney World one is the pirates on the right hand side that are doing the being trying to buy her. They chant, "We wants the redhead. We wants the redhead. We wants the red."
That's a little creepy.
It's a whole thing, and
I think they used to do that at Disneyland,
They,
right?
do, they still do.
no, they don't.
Yes,
No.
they do.
No, they don't.
I've never heard
Yes,
of
they
that.
do.
I've never heard that
The
in my
last time
entire
I was
life.
on it, I heard
Well,
it. Yes, they do.
They do.
Thank you.
Cindy,
They
get
do.
out of here.
We
you know what
bought
you're
a
talking about.
shirt that said "We're here for the redhead."
Yeah.
Yes,
No,
but they
do.
don't. But it's not in the ride.
It is in the ride.
Come
It
on.
says, "We wants the redhead," and then the auctioneer stands up
What
and says
accent was
something.
that? We wants that right here.
We want the redneck.
Dur, 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 dur.
No, but they do say it, and then he steps in
They
and
do.
says, "I heard it last time I was on the ride."
No,
They
you didn't.
do.
All right.
Yes, they
No.
do.
They
Cindy,
do.
you're fired.
We
Go
were
away.
just there.
No,
Project for the next trip.
someone call in 888-412.
Okay.
But anyway, that was cool. But they did the whole ride's like a Spanish castle kind of theme, which fits in with the Florida deal.
Yeah.
The queue is cool. You're inside. And it's a lot longer
Thank
queue
goodness.
than ours. That's for sure.
Very different than ours. Yeah.
We did the Jungle Cruise,
Nothing really to talk about there.
which was weird. So they go in like this tunnel and there's like a treasure room, like right in the middle of the
Jungle
ride
Cruise?
in the Jungle Cruise. And you're giving me that look right now, like you're very confused.
I don't really get it.
As neither did we. And so leading up to the thing, there was no, and now we're going to go into the jungle or into the treasure room.
You have to make a bad joke.
You would think, but they didn't. They literally
Yeah.
didn't say anything.
Said nothing. And then so we go through this room, and Taren and I are looking at each other like, where are we? Like, what's happening? And there's like monkeys looting the thing. And then we come out and picks right up on the script and doesn't mention that we just stepped out of time. Doesn't mention anything at
alternate
all.
universe.
It's so weird.
You guys just found Narnia.
and
Yeah.
yeah.
Pretty much, like
And a-
time stopped.
And apparently they're not allowed to say anything in that
Duckburg.
in that in
That sacred
in
place.
that tunnel. They're not allowed to say anything in it. But they could sure as heck fire say something before or after. It
They're
was
not
just
allowed to talk in it.
no.
Yeah.
Apparently not for
That's a
whatever
thing?
reason.
Yeah, it's a thing.
Bizarre.
very weird. Didn't
But
like it.
hated it. Still hate that ride.
Hated it.
Oh,
Hated it.
3 snaps and Z formation.
I'm gonna combine Big Thunder Mountain and
Please
the
do.
Mine Train because they were pretty much the same ride.
All right, do it.
Let's be honest. Big Thunder there,
Not at all. Except that they're in a tunnel.
and they're both
they're
runaway
trains.
trains.
No, one is a mine car.
Taren.
Anyway,
On tracks.
okay.
what do you think?
Big Thunder was is one of my favorite rides at Disneyland. I hated it at Disney World.
Yeah.
It felt like the Matterhorn.
Yeah, it rode
and it
more
was
like the
long.
Matterhorn.
It was
Oh.
longer, which I liked, but I didn't want to be on it because it hurt.
Did they not do some of the upgrades that they've done at Disneyland?
No.
At
No,
Disney
they
World?
haven't.
Oh, that's
Yeah, that exploding
okay,
room
yeah.
that we have at Disneyland,
Yeah.
way better. But they have cool interactive cues. They have stuff to do and
Yeah.
different signs, and like there's actually stuff.
Yeah,
Where
that
ours
part's
is
cool.
just. I mean, it looks fine. Ours is fine, but there's nothing to
Is that-
look at.
Is that better though?
Yes. I need to be. I want to be entertained a little bit. I don't want to be standing around going,
Standing around talking to the people that you're with in Disneyland?
yeah, with her.
Hey,
No, I'm a
gonna
present,
talk-
present
He's
company
pointing at me.
excluded.
Ixnay
Rude.
on the Arentay, Ockingtay.
No, I don't know.
But just some little stuff
Right.
to help the 25 to 35 minute wait go by a little bit.
so
I mean,
more than what they do on Indy right now, where there's like
there's
There's like two or three things you can do in line.
There's two interactive things, and I mean, yeah, if you want to decode the things, but
Right.
the line isn't long enough for you to decode anything properly.
Right.
So you're forced to take photos and then do it at home, which that's no fun, and nobody does it.
Right,
I mean,
that's
not
true.
nobody, but whatever.
What was the last queue they built? It was
Indiana Jones.
It was Indiana Jones.
In the
Cars.
park, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
In
in
that
Disneyland
park, yeah.
proper.
Right.
So, but yeah, that's
So they're
that's
learning,
it.
I
So
guess.
they learned from that, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
they expanded on it.
Hopefully.
To a point, because there's not a lot of interactive stuff in DCA.
Well, we'll know when
Yeah,
Star
that's true.
Wars opens.
Whatever.
Well, so the Mine
And we'll
Train.
burn this place down.
I was really.
Get off my lawn.
Come on, Milton.
We're at an hour and 10. I'm trying to move this thing.
Don't worry about it, Taren. Just let it happen.
Well, I gotta sleep at some point.
No, you don't.
Word.
The Mine Train was. I was really, really excited about it, and I was a little disappointed. It was a really cool ride, but it was too smooth. Like the way that Thunder Mountain was too rickety, this ride was too smooth. So it was kind of like it was like floating. It was not like you were on a mine train.
You're in a suspended car, and so when you stop still, you could rock it back and forth, and so that aided in the smoothness. And so when you go around the corner, if you lean into it, you can actually tilt a little bit more, and you get a little more force, and you get a little more out of the ride, which is cool. But it's so quiet that they actually have to pipe in roller coaster noise
Yeah.
to the ride for you to even really hear it. And we didn't realize it until we were at one point. You can see them coming around. I do like curly coming around and then up over a bridge or whatever. And we're standing there, and they come by, and they're up over here on the bridge, and there's still sound coming out of the speaker pointed directly at you. And I'm like, oh my god, what it would sound like if there was no speaker.
Right.
Yeah.
So it was a little weird. There's two guys were trying to rock it. Every time they lean left, right, and just counter it. And so they weren't even. It was really. Oh my god! It was amazing. I thought the ride was great. Instead of proper animatronics, they had movable guys face for the projection. So they were more animated, and it looked great. Pulled it off.
Yeah.
I loved it.
That part was really cool.
But the line was amazing. I mean, we fast passed it. We did 15 minutes. At the time, I think the wait was like 75 or 80 minutes or something like that. It was an insane amount of time.
Yeah. It was insane.
You want to do Epcot or what?
Yeah. I feel like a lot of these other things will come up in later shows probably, but
Yeah, we don't need to get super detailed.
yeah. So Epcot was, I had the same reaction as I did to the castle. We went to Epcot as a late night thing for the first, like we went there to kind of check it out, and then we were going to spend the next day there. And so we showed up at dusk, and that thing, I don't even know what it's called, geometric circle or geometric
the
something,
dome. Yeah.
That thing is way bigger than anybody tells you.
Which is the big ball in the middle of Epcot, or
Yeah.
not the middle of Epcot, but that's a ride. That's Spaceship Earth.
Yeah, it's
Is
also a ride. You go in the thing.
You start at the bottom, and you work your way, you circle around to
Really
the top,
slow.
and you basically go through the evolution of technology. And then you're at the very top, and then you kind of rotate backwards, and you come back down, and you start doing this little video. Did you see the little video we posted, or little photos of us? Anyway.
Oh, yes, I did. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
and that's where you do that, and it's like, this is your future of tomorrow, and you could build the thing, and it's really cool. And so and then you get out of it, and it's basically like you're in Interventions, where you can do that, like the energy game, where you push the projected game on the platform, or like the racing car thing, or the where you're like the surgeon, the 3D. That's all in the.
Or you put your
the
face in the
entrance of that.
thing and
and do the
make
thing.
it look like if you've
No,
been
they
a
don't
smoker
have
for
that.
50 years.
They don't have that one,
don't have that one.
but it's stuff like that. Yeah. So that was really cool. It was really like, awesome.
It was amazing
in the true sense of the word. Like I was just jaw to the floor when I saw that thing for the first time.
It was like seeing the castle when we walked into Epcot and you see the big dome, the big ball. It was I don't know. It was amazing.
Yeah, it was really cool. We spent quite a bit of time at Epcot. We went on the Mexico ride. I don't know what it was called. It's like the
forget
Three
it.
Amigos. I think it's
Yeah.
all right. It's
Three
a really good way to
Tres
get out of the
Caballeros.
sun. Tres Caballeros.
Cabaneros.
Cab-
I love Cabanera.
Whatever.
Carboneras.
That's Italian.
The trees carboneras.
That's carbonara.
I know. I was kidding. We really liked Japan. We got a bunch of souvenirs from Japan.
Yep.
We went on Mission to Mars, which was interesting, but they really scare the crap out of you with all their warnings about the ride, and then you get off the ride and you're like, that wasn't really that big of a deal.
So it's like
Did you guys do extreme? Or?
No. So it's a flight
Okay.
simulator, and there's two different. There's a green and an orange.
Right.
The green, I think, is for small children. The orange is for it's really intense.
So you did the small children one.
Yes, because we
Okay.
had a fast pass for it.
Well, they scare you.
The standby was only 5 minutes, so we're like, okay, forget about it. We'll do our fast pass, and then if
Right.
it's really not that bad, then we'll just wait in line, like whatever. And you're like simulating a rocket to Mars with
Gary
Sinise. Which is weird because I think that movie had just come out,
Yeah.
whatever. And you do the thing. You're in this little pod with you and 3 of your closest friends, and you each have a job, and it's kind of cool. Like one's the engineer, and one's the pilot, and one puts you to hyper sleep and whatever, right? And there's a bunch of switches you can flip, and so my anxiety kind of ramped up because they seriously do freak you out and go, seriously,
There are barf
now
bags.
it's your time to leave. Yes, they have barf bags.
Oh, wow.
In the right in thing.
Yeah.
And you're sitting in this fly trap.
Right.
And you're in one half, and then the screen tilts up and sandwiches you in, and it's yes, if you're claustrophobic, yes. Brad's leaving already. He's like, that's
See, I didn't even
that's
care.
good. It was so that was cool. I had to make the most of it, trying to mess around, and there was a little kid, and she was kind of freaking out. So I'm gonna try to help. So I was flipping everybody's switches for him, and it was fine.
It was fine. But it was we got
shook
off
and
at-
rotated and
Yeah,
whatever.
And I was like, that was not vomit inducing at all.
But so that was cool, and then so there's the Epcot whatever, and then there's aside from it in the back there's the World Showcase,
Yes.
which is where it has Japan and
Japan.
Mexico and Brazil and Morocco and all these different places, and in the middle there's water,
yeah.
and at night they do
Illumination.
illuminations show, fireworks and music, which Jeremy from Spectro plays every night at 9:00. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Cindy, you've seen it, right? The illuminations, whatever.
I have.
It's amazing.
It is. It's pretty amazing.
What's better, that or World of Color?
Oh, that for sure.
Thank you very
Yeah.
much. It blows away any show that Disneyland has currently. Illuminations.
It was very,
so
very cool.
awesome. So many fireworks go off. They bring boats in the water, shoot off fireworks kind of low, creates a lot of smoke, shoot lasers through the smoke. Lasers through the smoke.
That's awesome.
And
Yeah.
they bring a globe.
Frickin' lasers.
Freaking laser beams. It was great. I think we saw that show
Yeah.
3 times. Not in its entirety, but we were
Yeah.
just there drinking. But
So there's a couple things about Epcot that I want to just go through really quickly. One was we went to the UK and
we went to England.
we went to England.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm sorry, but all our Irish listeners are like, that is not the UK.
Technically, yeah.
Go
well,
ahead.
the Rose and Crown could have been.
Go ahead.
Whatever. Okay. We went in there and there was this lady playing the piano, dressed in a very fun outfit, and she stopped us as we were coming in because we were wearing Just Married pins, and with her microphone and everything, she's asking us a bunch of questions and about just being married and to everybody in the bar. This is a packed bar, and she's asking us all these questions, and then she stops and she sings a song about us.
Aw.
She freestyled a song about us. It was really cute.
It was cool.
Freestyle it?
Yeah.
What? Yeah.
She freestyled
And
it?
she remembered a lot.
She's
of
made
things.
up the words and playing a tune on the piano, and yeah, she's an older lady, 70 whatever. It was cool.
Yeah, it was really cute. And I know that people are going to want to know our take on the Food and Wine Festival.
Yeah, so the Food and Wine Festival is happening, which is a yearly thing, and they bring out other food booths, and you kind of do this whole thing, which is what Dan was alluding to in his email.
Yeah, and it's hard because I know everybody gets really excited, and everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, you're going in the best time ever!" And I have to say, I was a little under-impressed.
I was very underwhelmed by it.
But I think that that's because we live where we live. We have so much food around us. We're in wine country.
If you lived in Nebraska, it'd be a different
For
story.
sure, absolutely. It just was kind of like, oh, I could have this for lunch next week.
Yeah, the Greek pavilion had gyros, and I'm like, here we go.
Yeah.
All right, that's fine.
I
You
mean,
want to have
everything-
gyro, it's all right.
Everything we had was really good. It's just it wasn't that unique for us, and
Okay.
but I think that's our fault, not their fault, sort of.
Yes, absolutely. And I feel like, okay, I'm not going to get too deep into the beer. I will. We can talk about that later. But whoever runs their beer program is terrible and should be fired. There's like a little beer pavilion, like a beer building. You'll like this, Brad. I don't know if you saw it on
true,
Facebook.
though.
I did see that.
You did, yeah, and they have like a bunch of styles inside, explaining to the layperson what beer styles are and what a pale ale is and what a porter is and the differences between the two. And on the outside, they have what hops does and what yeast does and water and how all these roles that play into the growing thing of craft beer, which is great. Any information is great for everybody. We want more people to drink beer because it's really fun, and that's what I do for a living.
And it's our industry.
Yeah, it's our industry. But the information was appallingly incorrect. It was terrible. It was terrible.
Give me an example.
Well, they said that hops helps contribute color
What?
to beer, which is not true. Anybody that is not true, that is incorrect information.
And their style descriptions certainly left some things to be desired.
Another one. Oh God. Okay, now I'm going to pull them out. I didn't want to do this. To you, Taren.
Wikipedia could have been a big help to them.
Yeah.
The Florida Brewers, any brewery. Oh God, it was
Just a quick,
frustrating.
Google search would have made it so
well.
much better.
I feel like they were trying, I guess, right? But
Obviously not very hard.
here.
Okay.
Hops. First of all, hops is the flowering and stability agent used in all style beer.
Hops is.
It is. However, the amount varies by style. At the start of the process, hops is dried and pelletized for use as a flavoring agent. Okay. Yes, but at what process?
Right.
At the start of which process?
Right.
And not
The
always.
drying process?
Not always either.
Sometimes they're whole.
Yeah.
They're whole. Most of the not most of the time, but
Right.
at the hop harvesting process, yes,
Right.
that's what they are pelletized and or whatever. At the brewing process, no.
Right.
Breweries are not pelletizing their own stupid hops.
Hopefully you already have them
It's
at
like
that
it was
point.
put into Google, like it was in a different language and it was run through Google
Yes.
Translate.
Translate. Babblefish. Hops can be added later to include more color and aroma.
No.
Negatory.
Negative. That does not happen.
I mean, even people like Bev and I who don't brew beer know that. Like, that's an easy
We
one.
may have a slight advantage on other people, but,
True.
Did you see the porter description, Brad?
but for real, bro.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Fact.
I want to
Okay.
hear this one.
Read
Well,
that.
okay. In case you didn't know what a porter is, I promise I won't take too long. Well, a porter is a well-hopped beer.
No.
Porters are well-hopped, which is not hyphenated. It's well-hopped.
Hops from a well. Go
Yeah.
on.
And made from brown malt with mild notes of roasted grains, chocolate, and toffee. Well,
Yes.
Yeah, we'll
Maybe.
give that one.
Okay.
maybe. That's a gimme, sure. A pale ale. You know,
This one's my favorite.
in the then here, I'll do a Pilsner instead. Wait, hang on.
Rude.
Well, because I want to save it for the last.
Oh.
Yeah. Pilsner. Fragrant, okay, with strong hops.
What?
No.
What in the world?
Softer malt
Yes.
than what?
Then what? Yeah.
Then water.
And and pleasurably bitter or earthy flavors.
Nope.
I mean, they should have a crisp bitterness, a strong bitterness. Pleasurably, okay, sure, why not? And or earthy flavors. Very
No.
weird, right? Here's the last one. I just lost them all. I just lost them all. Bear with me.
Nope.
He's very passionate
B-A-R-E
about
with
this.
me. I'm a
Oh,
beer
you should have
guy.
seen him that day.
Oh my god,
Oh,
I
I
was
saw-
so
I
frustrated.
lost him for 2 hours.
IPA.
Like,
A strong and distinctive hoppy flavor, okay,
Just fun.
with a slightly bitter taste.
No.
You did not write the description.
No, I did not. Here's pale ale. In the U.S., cleaner yeast is used.
Yeah.
Cleaner than
No, it's a clean strain.
Cleaner than dirt.
cleaner.
Right. Well,
Less
it's a
esters.
clean strain. Exactly. It's a clean strain.
But clean as in what? Like in my opinion, this is for people who don't know anything about beer.
Right. These
So
are
you say
written so basic,
yes,
but they're assuming people know so much.
right.
If it's
A cleaner yeast.
a
Well,
cleaner yeast means that you scrub it longer before you throw it in. Right?
Yes,
So it
with
has
foam,
more soap
with
on it.
cilantro
yeah,
foam.
With cilantro foam, exactly.
in the U.S., cleaner yeast is used, and the hops are ramped up during brewing, making it a spicy beer.
Spicy.
This is the information that we're sending anyway. So
I like how you just threw your phone
He threw
in
it on the
disgust.
ground.
almost threw something else out too.
Let it go.
So I've been trying to tweet Disney World because on the last show we talked about they want to know your questions and concerns, and you can Twitter them now at WDW Today. I've done that, and they go, to better answer your questions, please follow the hashtag at Epcot Food and Wine. And I wrote back, I was like, I'm actually trying to talk to somebody about it because you guys have incorrect and just nothing. Like nobody wants to address the issues they're incorrect. And honestly, as a Disney park fan, to see really poorly done information multiple times about something that I happen to be very passionate about was I was disgusted.
Get off my
Outrage.
lawn.
Oh my God, I was so much outrage. Yes.
I have a question.
Yes, Beverly.
It's not about your current episode that you're having right now.
Right.
Moving forward.
Yeah.
What was the Frozen presence like at Disney World versus
Nil.
Disneyland?
None. There was none.
Yeah, there was hardly anything.
Hardly
Really?
a thing.
It was weird.
Little kids were not dressed up as those things. There was like none. It was actually a
I'm
park.
outraged.
Yes, Terrence.
So we were talking about food and wine,
Yes.
and just to move on, so
Yes.
you don't first,
Have an aneurysm?
yeah. Describe the churros at Disney World.
Oh. Well,
okay.
it was hard to find one.
So we the only churro that I saw was in Magic Kingdom,
Okay.
and I saw one in Frontierland. We walked around for 15 minutes,
Yeah.
looked at every cart. Every cart sold ice cream.
Eventually,
Okay.
we had to ask.
Wow.
Ask
We
someone,
couldn't find them,
and I found one.
which was my
It
favorite.
was
'cause
very.
Jason's wearing the shirt, asking for a churro.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Very thin. It was small. The length was fine. Very thin.
Okay.
Very not good.
Okay.
It had a lot of cinnamon and sugar on it.
It's kind of shrivelly.
It was not very good. I was very disappointed with it.
Okay.
I was very disappointed with it. It was,
Yeah.
and for the amount of people that are asking about the churro shirt, you would think churros dominated just like they do in Disneyland.
Yeah.
Right?
Totally.
don't.
Well, also, in Disneyland, when you get a churro, they actually take it off the thing and roll it in the
Right,
cinnamon.
right.
They don't
Cinnamon
do
and
that. They're
already
pre-cinnamon.
pre-made?
Yeah. And it's like, so it has the ridges, right?
Yeah.
It looks like a star or whatever.
Yeah.
Inside there, it was like they just packed a bunch of cinnamon and sugar in there. It was not
yeah.
good. It was not delicious.
No,
It was
it was
not
sad.
delicious.
That's actually really sad to hear.
Yeah.
Okay,
so,
Epcot. Can we just finish with Epcot?
That
real
was
fast?
done with Epcot.
Yeah.
I was-
Well, the main thing I didn't like about Epcot, not enough shade.
Oh yeah, no shade.
You're in the sun all the time, and you're drinking, and you're eating, and you're drinking some more,
Yeah.
and you are in the sun all the time. I don't know why they can't just put up shade blockers,
Yeah.
plant more trees, put a covering over. Give me some relief from the
Maybe
sun.
They should just
Yeah.
build a sun blocker like Mr. Burns did.
Oh.
Simpsons.
Yes,
one time.
that would be
Yeah.
great.
They
But
seriously need it.
But
though.
they have
Like,
some of
it's-
that stuff in the Esplanade or whatever between Spaceship Earth area, which forgive me, Walt Disney World fanatics, I don't remember the part of that park, whatever. And there's like a fountain that does like a water show essentially, and then the World Showcase. They have some of that stuff up. Why can't you just pepper the entirety of the
extend
thing?
Right,
Yes,
Right.
come on.
Yeah.
Pretend that not everybody likes the sun.
Yeah, because I did not.
Okay, what else?
That's it for Epcot for me.
That's it for Epcot.
And then Hollywood Studios is going to be real short because
Yeah.
that place is awful.
Don't even go.
Don't even go.
Is that where the Aerosmith ride is?
Yeah, that was the only cool part. Which that was the only cool part.
The geriatric ride.
So that in and of itself is, I don't know what.
So they have the Great Movie Ride, which is terrible. Don't ever go
Oh,
on it.
God.
Wait, what's the
great
great movie
movie?
ride?
So it's sponsored by Turner Classic Movies, and you go and you go on this like giant cart. Anyway, whatever, full of people. It's kind of cool, I guess, because they show you scenes from classic films, but the audio for the films was so low that they were playing portions of the audio, and there's like a animatronic James Cagney or whatever,
Right.
an animatronic Clint Eastwood, and you couldn't hear anything. You could hear nothing. It was like music, and it's hosted by a dude, and he drives the little car or whatever, and you can hear him, and you can't hear what's happening. So it's very out of context, very bizarre, and they're movies no one's seen.
Is it similar to what I can't remember the name of it, but the ride that was Monsters Inc. before Monsters Inc. was like the Hollywood one with like
the Hollywood limo or whatever.
Yeah.
I never rode that, so I don't know.
I don't think so though, because it wasn't like that. It was more like the Jungle Cruise, but going through movies.
And then, so at one point, like we get to like
And it's
in the
terrible.
country western place,
right.
the host is like, oh, there's a bank robbery, and another live actor comes out when these two animatronics come up. Anyway, they battle for some reason, and he goes, I'm gonna go try to stop it, and I'm going, oh, please don't, just please get me off this ride. This is so dumb, and it's
Right.
at 20 seconds we've been in or whatever, and he goes and he disappears in the thing. Anyway, there's a big explosion, which is cool. And then the cowboy robber comes on and starts driving the car, and I'm like,
That's not how it would happen.
it was so dumb. And I'm like, okay, great. And then they switch back, and they do a whole nother live action scene. And then the guy who disappeared ends up coming back, and he goes, oh, and some lady behind us goes, oh, it was him. And I'm like, are you serious?
It was the
You didn't
butler.
expect that when the guy turned around? Anyway.
Oh, that's great.
And then so towards the
That's
end, and I didn't even want to talk about it too much. And this is my problem. Towards the end, you stop in Wizard of Oz. Okay, the little Yellow Brick Road, and there's little Munchkin houses, and they all pop up. And the guy's like, "Okay, everyone, you know the song," and I'm like, "Yeah, we do. We can continue on. Sing along." And then they do the whole thing for
Lollipop
2
Girl?
minutes.
Wow.
Maybe a minute, but it felt like an eternity. And then after the song in the movie, it goes, okay, goodbye, and they wave goodbye to Dorothy, and she goes down the thing. We waited there. That's your cue to leave, bro. When they're saying goodbye, well, we're sitting there until all the little animatronics popped down in the little homes, and everything stopped. And then we crawled forward. And it took us so long to get there. The next scene was the end of Casablanca.
Right.
When there's like a half a airplane and
Right,
like the
right.
the prop engine rolls. And
Yeah.
by the time we stopped in front of the Casablanca scene, I had seen the scene go 3 times around.
Wow.
Like
Yeah.
he said, and just because it's not like I think on other rides where your movement triggers it.
Right.
I think it's just playing. It seemed like because I heard the same lines delivered 3 times by the time we got there, and then we got to see it a 4th time.
The whole ride was, no joke, 20 minutes long.
Was it?
Terrible. Yes.
What?
And
Obviously.
our friend Aaron, it's his favorite ride.
Yeah,
He
and
loves it.
It was really
Like
hard
you're a
to
questionable
believe
young
anything
man
he
right
said
now.
after that.
Yeah.
Wow, that kid's a mess.
Yeah.
No, is it being driven by someone?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So like they have control of how fast you're moving?
Yeah.
No, I don't. I think it's all set.
Okay.
I mean, he had a steering wheel, but he never used it. It's one of those things.
Well, I think at the Wizard of Oz part, they were having a problem with the car in front of us because I saw a red light, like he couldn't go, but he was just trying to like play it off like
Okay.
it wasn't.
All right. Well, maybe that's the first I'm hearing
But
about
I
this
couldn't
news.
tell you because they also split us up. We were like,
It's fine.
I know, but I was irritated by that.
Yeah.
Whatever. And that brings me to my next point that I will say, generally speaking, I think the cast members at Disneyland are a little bit more cheerful.
A lot.
Okay, I was trying to be real nice, but yeah,
Don't be
they're
nice.
a lot nicer, and they seem to care more.
Yes. The cast members in Disneyland are much better. Our CM experiences in Disney World, they're just kids. They don't care.
Yeah, they're working.
Yeah.
You know, they're working at Disneyland. I don't feel like people are working. I feel like they're having fun magic time.
For example, we were getting checked into our hotel, and the lady kind of she was a little, loopy or whatever. She starts digging in her ear. And I half expected her to pull out her finger out and look at it. I swear to God, I'm not making this up. She just starts scratching her ear, like inside, like digging in her ear, like trying to scratch a frontal lobe or something. And I'm like, are you for real right now? We are in Florida. Everything I've ever heard about Florida is absolutely true.
Floridian.
This is so weird. She is the Grand Floridian.
I will say
Go
though,
ahead. Sorry, Bex.
Oh man.
You were just digging in your
I
ear?
was totally just digging in my ear.
Well, but you're not checking us into a $600 night hotel or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Dirt. It was hard to like anything else, and it wasn't anything people were really doing necessarily. It was just the way that they were interacting was not what we're used to, and it was hard. It was hard to like really provide some examples of that besides the ear digger.
Florida it's like deeper than the deep south.
Well, I don't know, but I tried not to characterize it. But even honestly, I think it's the heat and the humidity. I think it messes with people. It makes them go a little loopy.
Yeah, bring you down.
You're a little more irritable in that sort of environment.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think so. And so they don't have time to be real nice. They don't have time for extra niceties. It's just like, oh yeah, it's that way. Okay. I mean, you want to tell me where, or should I just walk around, looking around for it?
Yeah, that happened a lot. We'd ask where things were, and it was like that way. Or like we tried to find a restaurant in this place, which was incredibly difficult to find a restaurant in Magic Kingdom, which was really weird. We went to like 3 different ones, and they were all closed. And
like Liberty Square
Yeah.
and the Frontierland, like that whole stretch of corridor. Maybe they shared a common kitchen, but
Yeah.
everything was closed. So it was raining, and we actually
Ponchos.
used ponchos,
We actually
which is
used
great.
them.
And so I saw people standing on the
Should've sent
stoop
them with you. I still have them.
of the Liberty House, which is like a
Yeah.
little pub, and you can get some food. I'm like, oh, great, let's eat. So, and there's a CM standing there, a little clipboard. So I'm like, okay, whatever. So I figured like if she's taking reservations or taking names or whatever, maybe it's full, she'll tell us when we're up on the thing. Otherwise, I'm not going to bother. So we get on the stoop underneath the thing, take off the ponchos, shake them off because we're going to go inside. And I reached to open the door and I pull on it and it's locked. And I look at her. I was like, "Are you?" And before I even said it, she goes, "Oh, it's closed." And I go, you could have told me that 5 minutes ago before I decided to take my backpack off and all my stuff. Like, what am I, a ghost right now?
Yeah.
Like, where can we get some food? Down over there.
Yeah.
Oh,
no.
okay, down over there. Cool.
It was real weird.
Appreciate it. It was very nice of you.
And that wasn't all of them, but it was
It wasn't
more,
all of them,
more
but
than
yes.
less.
Wow.
More
that's
than
crazy.
less. It was weird.
How was your food places that you went to?
Not very good.
Not
The
good.
dining plate, the diner.
I went to
Disneyland
the
wins that. Yeah.
Tortuga Inn or whatever, which is clearly by the pirates.
Right.
I ordered a burrito, and it was a giant soft taco.
It wasn't closed.
It wasn't closed. It wasn't
like, at
folded
all.
in, and it, part of it is my fault because not my fault, but they have a picture of it, and I was like, "There's no way that this is a burrito. It's a long soft taco," and anyway, I had to fold it myself, and then I rolled it, and then it split in the middle, and I'm like, "This is not." Come on! It's just so frustrating because the food took forever, and there were only 2 people, and hated it. I hated it. Hated it.
So it sounds like Disneyland wins?
Disneyland. Oh, yeah.
Disneyland wins.
Okay.
Because there's so much more to talk about. I
And
know we've been rambling right now
Yeah.
for an hour and a half, but there's so much to pack in from 6 days in the parks. I mean, this is okay. Bottom line, this is for me why Disneyland wins. Because if you don't want to be in the park, it doesn't take a huge effort to
Right.
get out of the park.
Right.
We were in Epcot and we wanted to hit downtown Disney on our last night.
God.
So in order to get, and so we looked everywhere. We talked to a person. Oh yeah, you got to take this bus. Well, okay, let's make sure. We walk all the way over to the bus transportation area, which is like 3 minutes or 4 minutes away from the actual entrance to the park, whatever. And the heat's a different story. No, you need to take this bus. Okay. We go ask the bus driver. Well, no, actually what you need to do is take a bus to the nearest hotel, then catch a bus to downtown Disney, which is now called Disney Springs. Don't know why,
They don't tell anybody
but
that.
there
really.
you go. So we wait. We're waiting on the bus, or we're waiting for the bus. There's a bus comes that says Disney Springs, downtown Disney. And everyone is waiting with us, goes to get on the bus. He goes, oh, no, my screen is broken. I can't change it. You still got to wait for another bus. I think his bus was broken, but he couldn't say out of service. Cool. So we had to wait an extra, felt like half an hour, but maybe was more like 5
Forever.
hours. I don't know. Anyway, we finally get to downtown Disney, and that was kind of cool. It's a little bit smaller. We went to Jacques Hangar Bar, which is cool, the new kind of indie sort of themed.
Right.
Very strange. I don't know why they named it after Jacques. He's in the movie for 10 minutes. It didn't add anything to the bar at all. It was kind of just like a Trader Sam's.
Right.
But they didn't do anything cool with, the drinks or whatever.
You did get that giant drink though.
That was
That
at
was at
Trader
Trader
Sam's
Sam's. Okay.
Grotto or whatever at the Polynesian, the Nautilus. Yeah.
I think they're
That was that's a 4-person drink
Oh,
for
man.
one
For one
person.
boy.
yeah.
For one big boy.
Their
right
Trader
there.
Sam's wins.
Their Trader Sam's is pretty cool. There's room anyway. But for me, that's why. So if we want to go to
Okay.
downtown Disney, you just walk there.
Yeah.
But if you want to get anywhere, you have to take a bus. The monorail doesn't connect to a lot of stuff. And we're talking to Aaron, our buddy who works out there, and he's like, well, the monorail costs money. Costs more than the buses. I go, I don't care. It's not my problem. I'm already paying you enough to be here.
I just paid $1 bajillion.
Yeah.
Yeah, like connect me to the monorail. Get me on the monorail. Let that take me everywhere. Well, the problem I think with Walt Disney World in general is that there's too much space, and they just built out so far. Why? There's no need for it. Every park could have been make the lake 20% larger, maybe double it in size. Put the parks around the lake. Have boats connecting everything. You're done. There it is. Perfect.
Yeah.
Love it. And have all the hotels maybe on another lake, and the monorail goes to the hotels. Or
Yeah.
something. But all this nonsense about taking buses and, oh, I'm sorry, you can't go to downtown Disney from any park. You have to go it from the hotel. Why? I don't understand it. It was very confusing, and it was very frustrating, and it honestly made us just want to go back to the hotel, and we had club level, and just get stuff for free instead of give money to the company. It makes no
Yeah.
sense. It's very counterintuitive.
I will say the club level, though, I never understood it because I hadn't done it. Wow, is that worth it?
Yeah.
Wow. Yes.
Whoa. Like, incredible.
A couple other real quick differences. We got our silhouettes done.
Yes.
Different. The frame is different. The paper on ours at Disneyland says Disneyland underneath it. Doesn't say anything about Walt Disney World on the paper at all. Like it has no. It's just
in the world?
the weird. It's
Well, and
it's
by-
so weird. Then that's what I mean. It's bizarre. It literally is Bizarro Disneyland. It's kind of like Disneyland, but the things that the details and the subtleties that you expect from a company like Disney aren't present in the very small things like that.
Right.
Like it's missing continuity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To me, it was like, oh, they ran out of the Walt Disney World labeled one, so they just have spares. Maybe that's it. The frames are weird. We captained the Liberty Bell,
Yes.
which is their version of the Mark Twain. We were able to do that.
That
which
Also
is
on a track?
yes, but no. It's on a track, but a wider track. So when you're the captain's like steering the thing, he's actually steering it.
Yeah.
So it's a lot like he described it as like a kind of like the Autopia, where if you don't steer it, you kind of crash into the side, into the bumper. So you kind of have to be turning it so you're not hitting the bumper. And he hit it a couple times, and we felt it. It was very weird.
Fun
Yeah.
fact, the last time I rode Autopia, I decided just not to steer. And I just accelerated the whole time.
Yeah,
It was fun.
it was
And
fun,
that's
right?
why Abby Peter Pan.
Right.
She was riding with Sam.
That's why I be Peter Pan.
But so because of that, they also have to have a different license to.
Not because of that. That's the boilers.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So in Walt Disney World, so in Florida in general, the captain was telling us. The captain, this 21-year-old kid or whatever.
Skippy.
Yeah, right.
His name was Alex. He was nice.
In Florida, there are no state regulations governing amusement park rides.
Yeah.
So in Florida, the riverboat folks work on the boilers.
Wow.
Maintenance doesn't work on the boilers. In Disneyland, maintenance works on the boilers.
Yeah.
So this kid is like 18 or 19
Shoveling
working
coal?
on boilers. No, not shoving coal, but working on the boiler. Like if something goes down, he's working on it. They do the maintenance on the steam, on the boilers to fire the thing, man.
That's nuts.
It was weird, right? And again, subtle differences. If you look out the window at the very top, there's like water and some trash on the thing. It was not very clean. It looked weird. The whole ship looked weird. It was run down. I don't know. I like Disneyland better. The attention to detail, and maybe it's because there's so many parks to cover.
Yeah.
But the attention to detail, everything's cleaner in the park. We saw a lot of trash
Yep.
in Disney World.
Not like in San Francisco, not like that, but like how Disneyland, like you don't see anything.
You really
Here,
don't.
like everywhere, you'd see a little something.
Yeah, it was weird. I don't know. That was it. We'll talk about some other stuff later, but yeah, weird trip.
That was our quick rundown.
Oh, we have a phone call. We have a present. Oh, God,
yeah.
there's so much stuff.
This
to
is
do.
from Jeffrey.
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 We met Jeff.
Jeffrey.
We
Jeffrey,
did.
Jeffrey.
It's a
We
soft
met
J.
Jeff and his
Jeffrey.
family. Jeffrey?
Jeffrey. It's a soft
Thank
J.
you.
You're welcome.
I didn't even know that was
Did
a
you get
thing.
your
Okay, cool.
totem chit
Don't do that to
merit
me.
badge from Boy Scouts?
No, I didn't.
That's where you learn, like, you hand someone a knife and you can't let go until they say thank you to let you know that they have it.
Oh, I did not hear that.
Yep.
Oh, nice.
There you go.
Okay.
All right, so
Whatever.
what is this, Terrence? Tell me.
I don't know.
It's a box.
It's
Well-
just it's a wedding gift from Jeffrey, one of our listeners.
Thank
Wanted you guys to have whatever it is in this box.
Oh, so Jeffrey's from Canada.
Severed head.
And in Epcot, we went to the Canadian Pavilion. And we saw a whole show put on by Martin
Yeah,
Short
that's right.
about why Canada
Forgot about
is
that.
so great. And it was pretty terrible.
But it was in air
It
conditioning.
was just terrible
my
because it
God.
was Martin Short.
You pretty much do stuff at Disney World because it's in air conditioning.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Like outside of Magic
Yeah,
Kingdom.
and so people said, oh, and everything is air conditioned. No,
Yeah.
it's not.
No, they're total liars.
Yeah. All right,
And
Karen,
they're-
you ready for this?
I am ready.
As I cut
Are
you
you?
off in mid. Well, I don't know. I mean, look, this is not an American box. This is a Canadian box, and I don't understand
Can
how
you
to.
tell because it's quality?
It's friendly.
I can tell because it's being very nice to me. Right now.
Sorry it's taking so long to open me, eh?
I was. I apologize about that, buddy.
Friend.
Such a friend.
I'm not your friend, guy. This is Canadian, right? No, I don't want to.
Oh dear.
Everything about that was great.
Oh, there you go, Taryn. This is a nice card.
The Petros.
Oh,
2 presents.
2 presents.
Very nice.
So nice.
You didn't have to do this, Jeff. That's very nice.
Yeah, this is
Shaking your hand
very,
was
very
It's a
nice.
really nice
was present
card.
enough.
Yeah, it is. Aw.
You're not going to read
They're
it.
wishing us both a lifetime of happiness. Love your Saskatchewan fans.
Saskatchewan.
No,
Saskatchewanian.
no, it says Saskatchewan fans.
Szechuan.
Saskatchewans.
Yes.
There's a hyphen.
Saskatchewans.
Saskatchewans.
Thank
Jeff,
you.
Carrie, Ben,
Between the
Jack.
two of you, you make a whole person.
They do share a brain.
This is from Jeff, Carrie, Ben, and Jack.
I feel like it's like towards the end of Nightmare Before Christmas when the doctors have the other woman.
Yeah.
We'll finally have some good conversation, and he pulls half his brain and shoves it in the other skull.
Yes.
Rude.
Oh my gosh.
I've been told that I share a
Come here,
brain
knife
with a
again.
lot of people. Does that mean I have a really small brain?
No, it means you're the repository of a giant. Thank you.
It's like Horcruxes. Like you've split too many times.
Horcruxi.
No.
I'm sure this is fascinating radio while I open a present, but
Horcrux?
Jeff wants us to do
No.
this on the air, huh?
Yeah.
So
He doesn't
I
know
want
about
to
the
ask a
radio.
question.
Yes.
We did drive the Mark Twain as well.
Oh yes,
Um,
nice.
Was your trainer friendly?
No,
Talkative? Is your skipper?
not really.
No?
Not on the Mark Twain.
You
He
don't
was
think so?
okay.
I think he
like
was-
he was like our friend. Like he was like being like he was trying to be real cool.
He's being our buddy guy.
Our trainer did not talk to us
Really?
the
Oh,
entire
really?
time.
Wow.
It was the only experience that I had with
How
the cast member that
awkward.
was just really, really awkward was the word for it.
Oh, wow.
We stood there the entire time and just kind of.
Oh really?
It wasn't. Hey, do you want to pull the horn? Do you want to do the
Oh, yeah, he
wheel
let us
or
pull the
anything
horn.
like that? No,
Nothing.
We stood there basically.
Oh,
we did our own
man.
pictures and did our own thing, but that was it.
Wow. What is that first thing, Taryn?
It is a leaf.
It's a maple
from
leaf.
a maple leaf from Canada dipped in gold
Which is funny because we thought about buying that for
Yeah.
Blobber at the Canadian Pavilion.
as a joke.
As a
'cause
joke.
He's from Canada. But no, I actually really wanted one. They were just a little expensive. What is this? This is amazing. They're berries. It's a berry gift box from Saskatchewan.
From Saskatoon,
Sa-
Saskatchewan. Fun fact, Drew Raminda's hometown.
Thank you.
Correct.
Yeah.
I am really excited about this.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate that.
Has
It's very nice.
Berry syrup, berry jam, and berry jelly. I'm really excited about this.
I'm stoked to find the difference between the two.
Me too. I always wondered.
Well, that was cool, guys. I appreciate that.
You got a fact of the show, the one we talked about?
We're not even done yet.
Oh, sorry.
What?
Yeah.
'Cause I can read it.
Because it's time.
No.
March in the past, present, and
Had a long show.
future
What?
with all the news
No.
that's fit to cover. It's the EarzUp
What?
Disney News.
Everybody wants to leave.
I'm so tired.
Do we want to go? Do we not want to? Let's not do news then.
Yes, please, let's not
Okay.
do news.
Let's not do news.
We,
Wait, is there
No.
anything
There's so much-
awesome
is
on
there,
the
yeah,
news?
is there really cool news?
There's a lot of fun stuff to talk about.
Is there one especially?
Well, okay. How about this? Variable pricing may be a new theme at Disneyland.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
So let's start with this one. Disney raises annual pass prices at Walt Disney World and Disneyland.
Yeah, that was a steep hike.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was really rough.
$60 more a month for ours.
Rude.
It's terrible.
$60 more. Is that what you said?
Yeah, a year.
$60 more a year. Yeah.
Oh, a year.
So they've reduced the one of the premium or whatever, and now they have silver and gold or something like. Oh, that's Walt Disney World. But you can buy you can get up to $1,000 one, and that'll give you access to the park all the time. Parking, which they also raised parking. They raised parking in downtown Disney
Rude.
Wow.
a bunch. So it was a 3-hour free. Now it's 2. And instead of $6 an hour after, 12.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do if you want to go to dinner and a movie? You're paying at least an extra $12.
That's
Yeah.
really awful,
Well, they
I
offer
think.
a
Yeah.
validation, right?
Oh, yeah, maybe
Oh,
so.
yeah,
Okay.
maybe.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
But I think it's only for an hour.
But with the main
Bad.
passes now, they have the unlimited photo pass thing.
Right,
So I guess that's kind of cool.
It
But
is.
if you, and to me, it doesn't add any more value, because if you have an annual pass, you're not those people taking a bunch of photos with the characters all the time.
Hey, we took the same picture in front of the castle last week. Let's do it again.
So I didn't understand that. Bev, this is for you. You know the Dark Lard, not Taren.
That was me.
The Dark
already.
Lord.
Yes.
What's his name?
Voldemort?
Apparently, it's incorrect
It's
pronunciation.
Voldemort, right?
It's Voldemort.
Voldemort. There's no T.
There's no T. It has a French
I'm pretty
version.
sure in the book there was a T.
but it's silent because it's French based.
Your mom
And
is silent.
what she is,
Whoa!
and she's been silent for quite some time.
Sorry, that wasn't what I meant.
Baby cry.
This is apparently from J.K. herself, and she says that whatever. Anyway, I don't know why in the movies they decided not to, but apparently the guy who did the audiobooks made the T silent until the movie started coming out, and then he
Right.
decided to just forget it. Why am I?
Yeah,
why
I was
am I
going to say I've
struggling?
listened to the audiobooks several times over, and I insert nerd here.
Right,
Um,
nerd.
yeah, thank you. But yeah, I always remember hearing a T.
Yeah, well, there you go. I'll run through
Very
this real
weird.
fast. Disney announces The Incredibles 2 won't arrive until 2019.
What?
What's the point? Seriously?
When did that movie come out? Do you know the name? Do you know the year?
2007.
I know it. It's I just said I know it. I just had it right here. What? 2004.
Yeah.
Wow.
And they're doing a sequel.
15 years later, when the
15
kids
years
was aged 1 year. That's ridiculous.
Cars
Wow.
3 will be out
No
in the
one's
summer of 2017.
Why? Did anybody see Cars 2? It was terrible.
It's pretty awful, man.
No, I didn't.
So there you
Was
go.
bad.
There's that. Cruella DeVille is getting her own Disney movie.
Oh, of course. Why wouldn't she?
I don't know. That's
I want to see Ursula in her own movie.
The film
That'd be-
will present a new adventure for the vain and bloodthirsty villainess who was created by British author Dodie Smith. Blah 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 blah.
But she won't be evil in the end.
Who's
Right,
playing
of course.
her?
I don't know that.
The picture up at the top.
That is the Glenn Close,
Yeah.
Oh,
the lady
she
who
always
played her
looked
in
like
the movie.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh, there was a live action.
yeah.
Apparently, Disney has teamed up with a Bristol-based prosthetics bionics firm to transform children's lives, and they created a range of prosthetic arms fashioned after Marvel and Star Wars. So
That's cool.
there's this little girl here who has Iron Man's armor arm as her prosthetic arm.
Nice.
great.
And
That's really
and
cool.
Star
I like
Wars themed ones where you can change the color of the lightsaber on the thing or whatever. There's
That's
a
cool.
Frozen one. That's kind of cool,
That
man.
is.
Yeah.
It's like getting to pick out your cast. You know how you get to, if you
Yeah.
break it,
Yeah.
you get to pick out the color. It's awesome.
Here's this one, Taren. I thought you would like this one. Passengers stranded for hours on stuck Disney World train.
Oh,
Some Walt Disney World guests found themselves stranded for over 2 hours. Over 2 hours aboard one of the monorails. Orange County, which, by the way, Orange County, Florida.
Yeah.
oh right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fire rescue officials were called to assist Reedy Creek Fire and Rescue on Saturday after the yellow monorail stopped on the track between Disney's Contemporary Resort and the Magic Kingdom.
Are those air conditioned?
Yes, they
They
are. The
are.
Florida
They are
ones
there.
are.
They are there.
Ours are not.
Are
And
not.
apparently the other day they canceled the monorail service for the day in Anaheim because it was too hot
was-
to operate them.
When we were down
Wow.
there, when we were down there, it was only open the first 2 hours of the day because of that reason.
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
That's horrible.
That would be terrible, though.
Stopped around 3:30
Still.
p.m. So like height of the day. This person says the second and third cars of the train were evacuated by a cherry picker because some passengers aboard had medical issues. All other passengers were towed back to the transportation center.
Wow.
2 hours.
But does the air conditioning work when it's not running? Like
I
I don't
Bart?
know. Oh,
Oh.
good
also thinking
question. This is okay. I think this is the last news. Students raise money to send a beloved campus employee to Disneyland or Disney World
that's
or
always
whatever.
nice.
And this is in the UK. An Elon University campus coffee shop employee is having her lifelong dream of seeing Mickey realized thanks to some students who secretly raised funds to send her and her family to Orlando. Junior Taylor Zizscholds.
No, that
Sounds
sounded
about
right.
right.
Taylor and Lucy surprised Catherine Thompson, a 10-year veteran school employee, with the $9,481 they raised.
Wow.
They set up a GoFundMe page with a goal to raise $6,500, but raised almost $3,000 more than that over 29 days. Thompson, who works a night shift at an on-site campus coffee shop, was chatting with two students and mentioned that she always dreamed of taking her autistic grandson to Disney World. When she found out that Smith, one of the other girls, was from Florida, her eyes filled with tears as she spilled out her biggest dream in life is to take her son, daughter-in-law, and two grandsons to Disney World. The students kept... I got a little thing. Students kept the whole thing secret and presented Thompson with the gift at work one morning. And there's like a video of her, like, doing the whole thing.
Oh, you gonna break a camera? What? Oh, that's sweet.
Do you see?
What?
She doesn't like
We
the.
want to thank you for all that you do. You and your family are going to Disney World.
See? How?
We all raised
How?
money. All of you.
thought-
All the Elon community came
Oh, I thought this
together,
was in
and we
England.
just wanted to thank you for all that you do.
Oh, this old lady's crying. That's so nice.
Aw.
I may or may not have a feeling.
We got it
Yeah,
all ready
I
for
think we
you.
all got feels.
We did.
That's nice.
We just had to pick a date
We-
because we didn't want to pick it without you.
Terrence cries at everything.
I know.
Yeah. Terrence doesn't care.
He's too tired to cry.
I'm jealous I'm not going.
Well, anyway, pardon me. I thought that was in England, but what do I know?
The one girl talking had an accent.
Yeah, it was Arkansas.
Yeah, for sure.
You're going to Disney World
When? Right now!
tomorrow.
Clean out that carafe first. Anyway, okay, that's it. We're done. All right?
All right.
You guys want to go? We're
Yeah,
going.
Yes.
Should we?
Sorry, Brad and Cindy, we didn't talk about your... Brad recently went to Disneyland for the first time in 19 years, and I really wanted to talk to him about it. But no, you guys are way more important.
It hasn't changed.
What?
I have a fact of the show.
So do I.
We're not. I thought you said that we couldn't do it because you didn't have it proven.
No.
Okay, you can do yours. I have mine. For later, not for right now.
Great. Fact of the show, when Tom Sawyer Island opened in 1956, I think we mentioned this before, but not as a fact of the show. Kids could borrow fishing poles at Huck Finn's fishing pier, and you can actually fish in a small pond. You can actually catch catfish there.
That's cute.
What do you think of that?
I like it.
That's something I wish that... Actually, I can see why they stopped doing that. Number one,
Yeah, it's a pretty bad
it's
idea.
probably a lot to stock, but also what are you going to do with that thing? Catch and release, I guess? But no one
Yeah.
wants to spend their time
But
doing
that poor
that.
fish just gets caught all day long.
What fish?
Terrence thinks.
So I'm wondering how much it would hurt to recatch a fish all day long at Disneyland.
Oh, God. Wouldn't hurt enough. All right, everyone. Thanks for sticking with us. It's been a long show, but hopefully, you got something out of it. So if you decide to go to Disney World, I don't know, whatever. It's different, man.
It's real.
It's real weird. Until next time, see you in the parks.